Thank you, Adrian. Good afternoon, everyone. If a match could perfectly illustrate the beauty and the success of the football pyramid, then this is it. Two teams that 5 years ago played out a thrilling 2-2 draw in League Two that featured Liam Kelly of Coventry and Luke Berry and Dan Potts of Luton, now scrapping for a place in the biggest, most watched, most followed league in the world. Don't be fooled into thinking that the road to get to this point has been swift or smooth. They were both former top-flight regulars who dropped like stones. After 89 years, Luton went out of the league. Coventry were homeless and almost went out of business. But now under the arch at the magnificent Wembley, the riches and prestige of the Premier League are within touching distance for Rob Edwards and Mark Robins. Two managers with fascinating stories of their own. The sun beaming down, the arch glinting, the huge bowl vibrant with its sky blue on one side and orange on the other. There's a sense of anticipation in the air, but only one set of supporters will have their thirst quenched by the time we get to 7 o'clock tonight. Luton and Irvine, this is playoff campaign number 7. All of them have ended in heartbreak. Coventry have never lost a playoff match. What happens this afternoon? Coventry in sky blue have Wilson in goal, McNally, McFadzean and Doyle. The wing-backs Norton, Duffy and Bidwell. A box in midfield of Kelly, Sheaf, Allen and Harmer. Gyökeres, the top scorer, up top. For Luton is Horvath in goal, who came off the bench in last year's Championship playoff final for Nottingham Forest. Osho, Lockyer and Bell, the back three. Drame, Nakamba, Doughty, and then Kelly Ruddock in Panzu, who encapsulates this Luton Town team, and Clark behind Adebayo and Morris in attack. Our referee is Michael Oliver. The VAR is Chris Kavanagh. Coventry go away to our right-hand side and into a huddle, lining up on the centre circle, all together as one, Luton Town. Atmosphere is crackling. The Luton Town players staring at their opponents away to our right-hand side. It's almost got the feel of the New Zealand All Blacks haka, the way they are standing and just lining up in front of their opponents as if to say, here we go, we're together as one and we're going to take you on. On Monday we have the League One playoff final. Wednesday we have the Europa League final with Sevilla going for yet another triumph versus Jose Mourinho's Roma, and then next Saturday it's the FA Cup final. Ian Holloway won a Championship playoff final with Blackpool, one with Crystal Palace, and Dean Ashton knows what it's like to be promoted. They're with us and we're underway. Dean, what's it like from a player's perspective to know so much is at stake?
Very difficult not to let the occasion get to you, to try and be calm, to try and make sure that your thoughts are in the right order and that you remember what the manager wants of you. But it's there for you, that's what you know. It's there to go down in history, do something that can be remembered forever.
Ian Holloway, how do you keep people's emotions in check just before you go out, or do you not? Is that the idea?
Well, what you have to do is keep reminding them why they're doing it, and it's normally their loved ones at home, to improve their lives, to go down in history, and really stop getting involved in the emotion and just go and do your job. Just go and do what you've been doing very well all season and try and do it today in this arena.
Coventry have the ball deep inside their own half. It's season 37 of the EFL playoffs. The ball's been won on the far side by Luton momentarily, but it's half cleared. Eventually Sheaf will nod it away. It goes down the right side into Luton territory. Lockyer goes out to the far touchline and he'll take the throw in for Luton deep inside their own half. Coventry use a box midfield. They aren't afraid to go after you. We saw that right from kick-off as Gyökeres went steaming into opposition territory. They'll press you all over the place. Gyökeres actually almost scored in the first half at Borough after pressing Zach Steffen in the semi-final. Both teams comfortable, Dean, not to have the ball. They average 46% possession across the season.
Yeah, I mean, they are very similar. The only real difference, I would say, is that box midfield you've just talked about and an extra player at the top end of the pitch for Luton. But defensively, very, very similar in the way that they defend as a unit with a packed midfield. So it's going to be difficult for either side, I think, to break through with some real quality. I think Gyökeres on the break, Carlton Morris and Adebayo on the break, those two sets of forward lines, they're going to be the difference for me.
Ball picked up in midfield by Allen, sees it back towards Doyle, who's on the left edge of the penalty area, all the way back to Ben Wilson, the Golden Glove winner in the Championship this season, the goalkeeper who strides the ball out towards the far side, collected by McNally, takes it up into midfield where Norton Cuffy will send it back towards his goalkeeper. Luton tend to go longer than Coventry, only Rotherham, Birmingham and Millwall have played more long passes than Rob Edwards' team. Coventry aren't afraid to do that either. This is McFadzean, deep inside his own half, towards the left and Doyle up to halfway. Palmer, when he's back to the halfway line, turns and tries to play it forward. Gustavo Palmer, who had a great end to the season, scored the goal that took them to Wembley and hit the bar from a free kick in that game as well. 10 goals over the campaign. He might be influential as well as Victor Gyökeres in this Coventry team today. All picked up in midfield by Sheaf. Good intelligent footballer, very clever boy apparently as well. And it's worked out wide towards the right. Norton Cuffy plays it infield up towards Gyökeres, who collides with Bell, and it's going to be a free kick to Luton just short of the halfway line.
I mean, Gyökeres naturally will want to exert his physical presence on the back three. He'll want to, I think, try and isolate Lockyer. I think right down the middle, they'll be looking just to play either side and make those arcing runs in behind Lockyer.
And Luton from a set piece, send it long. Lockyer sends it into the penalty area. Doyle away. They are dangerous from set pieces, and they've managed to get the second ball. Adebayo trying to get hold of it inside the area. It comes back out on the edge of the box, and the canvas spreads it wide out to the left. And Doughty, who's got great delivery from that left-hand side, can send them in from that sort of range. It then takes a deflection off Norton Cuffy and bounces away for the first corner of the game. Here's Ian Holloway.
Yeah, so far I've been very impressed with the midfield four, the movement that they've got. And Gyökeres is really dangerous. He's on the last man, Lockyer, in the middle there. So this is the first opportunity that Luton have got to see what they do with this corner. They're brilliant at set pieces.
Yeah, big aggressive side. They want to try and get on the front foot from these sort of situations. There are a huge threat from crosses and wide areas and set pieces. The ball's aimed towards Lockyer. It comes down, it's scrambled towards goal, and then it's helped in at the far post. There may have been an infringement in there, maybe an offside, maybe even a handball, but it certainly looked as if it was a little bit scruffy when eventually it was put in. Lockyer's claiming that the ball crossed the line. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games. It will be checked by VAR, this. Our first use of VAR today. Chris Kavanagh having a quick look at it. Accusations is that it came off someone's hand, did it, or they're in an offside position on the way through. Either way, Michael Oliver was quick to rule it out. I'm just waiting for VAR to check it. Dean Ashton.
I mean, look, I can't imagine that he would be offside, and if so, it is incredibly tight, and then you wonder whether there's a hand involved as well. Has Lockyer given a foul? Might just take a couple of seconds.
Well, Lockyer's header comes down into the box. Morris flicks it on, and then it comes through.
Yeah, he looked offside to me. He looked offside to me.
That may well be offside against Osho, who scored very early on in the game against Sunderland, the second leg at Kenilworth Road. Offside is the decision. As a result of that, no goal. That would have been a bright start, wouldn't it?
It certainly was. Well, it's lifted the Luton fans incredibly, because Coventry looked quite settled at first, you know. These moments are really important. You look at your team and they're settled down, but I think we got a great game out of our hands here.
I mean, that's a great example of what Luton want as well. I mean, 27% of their goals this season have originated from set play, so not straight from the first. It's about that second, that third phase that players have got to be really alive to. Osho there, I thought, was brilliant. He was anticipating that knockdown from Morris.
Yeah, it was. It's something that was a feature of their game over the course of the season. Rob Edwards has made it a big part of what Luton do, and an early warning for Coventry City, where there have been nerves on the Coventry City bench. Dan Windle is sitting behind them.
Mark Robbins, Rob Edwards, the respective bosses, Sam, have not moved from the edge of their technical areas. If there are nerves, they're not showing them. Colin Morris, Luton's leading man, screaming at the Hatters midfield. He wants to get sprung in behind. He wants to stretch Coventry. Brilliant start.
1-0 the score. You're listening to talksport. Ball headed away by McNally up towards halfway. Collected now, moved forward by O'Shows. Had that goal disallowed. Immediately challenged by Harmer, who goes across and tries to shut him down. And it goes out of play and away for a Coventry City throw to be taken by Jake Bidwell. He lays it back into midfield, Sheaf forward, Harmer's got hold of it, Gyökeres, good football this, Allen forward, it's behind Harmer, has to try and hold off Osho now, then skips infield. There was a challenge on him by Nakamba, which the referee didn't like. They want to take the free kick quickly, not going to be allowed to. Coventry have a free kick just in front of the centre circle, down in front of us, attacking the goal away to our left. They've got a bit of an issue here. Lockyer's gone down on the floor and he needs a bit of help.
Yeah, this is a worry because he's gone down, nobody near him at all, Lockyer. I don't like to see this at all.
Quite concerning, wasn't it? Because he just sort of went down away to our left-hand side, and that was after the ball seemingly had been put out of play. And immediately the medical staff are signalling for something rather serious here. They're asking for a stretcher for the Luton Town captain, Tom Lockyer, who has been finding his form recently with 3 goals in 4 games. And he has been struggling with a bit of a toe problem. At the beginning of the season, his future was in doubt. He came into the team because of Sonny Bradley's injury. There is some concern about his well-being here. And the players have just trotted over towards the near touchline, so I'm hoping it's not as serious as it looks.
Unfortunately, that doesn't look good, does it? Good gracious me.
I mean, look, you can normally tell with the physio's reaction to any situation. For both physios to turn, I personally don't know what crossing the arms means, but
that's a signal, isn't it?
That is a signal then for other medical staff to come on. You know, we talked about the heat when we were down there at pitch side. We talked about the emotion of what it does to you in these sorts of games, and we really just hope that Lockyer is okay.
Well, they may have to make a change. And Luton Town already warming up. Reece Burke away to our left-hand side. That's happening, but there is concern on the faces of everyone.
I'm just wondering, was it from the corner where he got his head on it? He might have took a bit of a knock on it and then a delayed.
Well, actually, that's the worry, isn't it? Did he get a knock on the head at the corner prior to that? But there was no one around him when it happened, and that is the big concern. Well, we've seen the footage actually a couple of times of where he goes down away off the board, and there isn't anybody around him. Just sort of almost falls to the ground and stumbles very quickly onto the floor. And he didn't really put his hands out to protect him, which always is a signal of a worry. Dan Windle is on the touchline.
Tom Lockyer down, receiving significant medical treatment from a number of Luton medical staff, Coventry medical staff and St John's ambulance. He will be getting put on the stretcher. Lockyer's playoff afternoon, final afternoon is over. Reece Burke is out warming up in front of you, Sam, out by the Luton fans on this near touchline here at Wembley. Rob Edwards, an immediate shake of the head. Lockyer, a warrior for them, marshals their defensive unit. He's just actually gone out onto the pitch, Rob Edwards, to talk to the other 10, well, 9 plus the goalkeeper, outfield players, talking them through what comes next. Losing Lockyer is his bigger blow, a big this puff out of his cheeks, Rob Edwards. To lose Lockyer, huge for Luton.
Absolutely huge. And I just watched it back again. We've got the analyst here from Luton sitting about 3 chairs away from us, and I've just watched it back again during Dan's little piece there, and he takes 4 steps back and stumbles backwards, goes to the ground, falls onto the floor, rolls over, lifts his head up and goes and then drops back down again, and then immediately, I don't know whether he's done something to his leg and he's completely buckled underneath him or whatever, but it doesn't look great, does it? No. And we do wish him the very best, and it's a rather startling incident at the beginning of this championship playoff final, the biggest game of the lives of many of these players, in fact all of these players, you would imagine, with the prize that is up for grabs. What do you do in this situation? You're a manager, it's gone against you, you've got to make a substitution, a key substitution really early in the game.
You normally try and plan everything, but no way on earth would you prepare for your centre-half just running back towards his own goal and then collapsing. So I hope it doesn't affect the rest of the players, unless it's in a positive way where they say, come on, we'll do it for Lockie. My concern is with, and the manager's concern will be with that player.
Well, he has got his head in his hands, which is the best sign I think we've seen all day.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a hamstring or knee injury. It's not his head, and it won't be life-threatening.
Well, Rhys Burke is on in his place. Tom Lockyer goes off the pitch, and as a result of that, there is a quick change for Luton Town. And Rhys Burke, who formerly of Bolton, Hull and West Ham, first experience of Wembley, won League One with Hull 2 years ago, comes into the heart of the defence, and we played just over 12 minutes. Ball delivered straight into the box, and then it's just nudged behind there by Elijah Adebayo, and it goes behind and away for a corner kick over on the far side, and then we're a little bit disorientated. Adebayo suggesting that maybe didn't get a touch.
That's the first bit of worry that we've seen, and he could have let that go, and he said he didn't hear anybody, but I think that the Lockyer thing has definitely affected him a little bit.
A corner on the far side, and it will be whipped in towards the near post, headed away by Adebayo, and out on the far touchline for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area for Coventry City. 0-0 the score, 13 gone. Coventry on the attack. We've had a lengthy delay because of the injury to Tom Lockyer, and we've had it confirmed by Dan Windle, our pitchside reporter, that he's currently receiving gas and air in the tunnel as they look to try and stabilise the situation pitch side. Ball is over on the right side. Coventry on the attack will work in that defensive position over on that far touchline by Doughty, who gets in front of Jamie Allen and shepherds the ball behind and away for a goal kick. Dean Ashton.
Not great, obviously, for the players that are on the pitch. Unsettling. Got to try and calm yourselves back into the mode. Quickly start to remember again the jobs that you've got to do.
Ball headed into the air, and it comes towards Morris. Morris tries to bicycle kick the ball into the box. It was a long ball forward from the goalkeeper Horvath, and it went right up to the edge of the box, and that was a mistake by Nafantian, who headed into the air, and with laser reactions Carlton Morris tried to do a bicycle kick and catch out the goalkeeper, and almost caught out Coventry City in very close to putting Luton Town in front. It was only narrowly wide of the left-hand upright.
See, for me, that's not long ball football. What he did, he pulled on the centre, the far centre half shoulder, went in there. It's a tactical move. They've hit a big diagonal.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, exactly. Just asking that questions of the centre backs running towards his goalkeeper. Obviously, Wilson. Difficult when the atmosphere is this big. You know, we just seen Adebayo saying he can't hear anything. Will the centre half there have heard his goalkeeper if he's coming out? Well, he's gone to just pushing it back. I don't think that's the right thing to do in early part of a game like this. That's where you've got to power that header away and then worry about it.
Luton have earned themselves another throw-in down on the right-hand side. Drame is going to take it on loan from Leeds United, playing as the right wing back in this Luton Town system. He's got Nakamba to his left-hand side, and Adebayo in the centre. Ronikin Pansu tries to get the cross in, it takes a deflection and goes behind, and it's another corner for Luton Town, and we know that already they've been pretty impressive from these moments. Saracens have won the Gallagher Premiership after a victory over Sale at Twickenham. Chelsea won the title in the WSL for a fourth season in a row earlier on today. Another double. Reading relegated Manchester United into the Champions League, but couldn't overturn Chelsea's advantage despite their victory away at Liverpool, and Bayern won the Bundesliga title on goal difference thanks to a late goal from Jamal Musiala. Here's the corner, deep towards the far post. It's high into the air, and out comes Ben Wilson and claims it, and then immediately smacks it upfield, and it's up towards Allen, who flicks it on. Harmer tries to get on the end of it, but there was a foul by Allen, and as a result of that, it's going to be a free kick to Luton Town as they try to get some advantage from the quick release.
It's a little bit bitty at the moment, isn't it? It's not.
You'd have to say Luton maybe just shaded it, Ian.
Yeah, I think so. it's just, I don't think any team's settled down yet.
Coventry City finished in their highest league position in 17 years. But they've been out of the Premier League for 22. They want to go back. There's been so much water under the bridge since they were relegated under Gordon Strachan. And we know that playoffs are tense and tight. But Mark Robins did repeatedly tell his players to remain calm, play their game. And they are very good on the break. Fast and sharp. They scored more goals on fast breaks than anybody else in the Championship this season. All about the goalkeeper for Luton Town will place the ball down just right of the midfield line inside the Luton half of the field. He sends it long up towards the middle of the park, headed away by McNally, and it's down into the halfway line, and Bell will pick it up for Luton. We come forward once again. It's played out towards the left. It might run through to Adebayo here. Carlton Morris couldn't get the first pass after it was smashed in by Doughty, and then it's cleared away by McFadzean and out towards the far side of the way for another Coventry City throw. There's no real flow to the game so far, but Coventry have been pretty good defensively. 1 goal conceded in the last 4 games. They stifled Middlesbrough and their league top scorer, but dealing with the physical threat that Luton possess is slightly different. Here they come again, on the ball, they're losing it quickly. Sheaf couldn't get it forward, squeeze it, looking for the likes of Kelly and Allen. They've worked it down the right-hand side now. Norton Cuffey picks it up, plays it infield. Doesn't quite reach Gyökeres, and then it's cleared by Nakamba, who sends it long, and then Adebayo just saw McFadzean cross his path as he went to chase into the left corner of the field, and then Wilson rather sensibly goes across and allows the ball to run across his body and go out of play for a goal kick away to our right. But it is a bit helter-skelter, a bit frenetic, and lacking being in a bit of control at present.
It is, but I wasn't coming here expecting to see 2 teams, trying to play out from the back and play their way all the way through and dominate possession. That isn't what these 2 teams are about. What I have seen is the way Luton so far, I know it's very early, but the way they've really contained Gyökeres. The 2 wide centre-backs, when the ball goes anywhere near him, squeeze really tightly in, and then the Nakamba's right in front of him. They're almost just sort of boxing him in, aren't they? They are, of course. That's what football means.
But there's an awful lot of skill in this. Both teams are really well coached, and I can see it from here. Sometimes you don't want someone who can outplay you all the time. This is a huge part of the game, and both teams do it really, really well.
Compensa, infield it goes. Helped on towards Clark, who shuffles it left, and now it's picked up by Bell. Bell moves forward at pace, lays it off to the left, and Doughty takes over. He's in the left wing position for Luton Town, attacking the goal away to our right. The ball's delivered high into the box, and it goes over every orange jersey and every sky blue one. It was kept in by Drame on this near side, then given away cheaply in the left full-back position by Doyle, who's won it back again, and now they look to move forward. Coventry into midfield they go. It's played into Kelly, couldn't get it out of his feet. Another Compansu trying to help it on to Adebayo. It's a scrap, it's a fight, and Coventry win that, and they give the ball away, and Doyle's guilty again, into the centre towards Morris, who tries to get the volley in. Couldn't quite get a clean contact on it. It was brilliant defending that by Liam Kelly, who's been with this club right the way through all 4 divisions, and he needed every ounce of his awareness there to stop Carlton Morris from taking advantage of a really scrappy bit of play from Coventry.
For me, you've got to put the ball in the box. That's where these men like Dean Ashton earn their living, by scoring goals, and it's a joy to watch. I can't stand everybody playing back and giving it to centre halves all the time. Does my brain in. This is fantastic. It might not be beautiful, but it's effective.
That was the first thought. Where is Morris in the box? Adebayo was outside of it. Where's Morris in the box? Good ball in, lovely little touch, couldn't keep it down.
Here's the corner, deep towards the far post, headed away this time by Doyle, and manages to get some distance on that. It comes out as far as Clark, who looks to jink his way down the right side, plays an intelligent looking pass. He's not going to quite reach its intended target in Reece Burke, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick out and away to our right hand side. But a lively start, and maybe a rudimentary start at times, but what's interesting is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Ian?
Well, I'm finding the fact that the two slightly different shapes very, very interesting. Luton, I believe, have got, yes, they've got one to mark and they're dealing with it, but they've been taught how to do that, and it's a little bit more difficult for Coventry having those 2 up the top, so let's see how it pans out. But it's a tactical battle, and I'm really enjoying it.
21 gone. You're listening to talksport. Ball up towards Gyökeres. Couldn't quite get hold of it. And it spills into midfield. And before Kelly can get there, it's on the left-hand side with Doughty, who smacks it long and high towards Morris, who wins the header. Comes down the edge of the box. Roderick Mpanzu just couldn't get anything behind it. And when he fell to him on the edge of the D, the Luton Town midfield player pulled the trigger, but he just didn't have enough power behind the strike. That was another good opportunity, Dean Ashton.
It certainly was. I mean, that's what we saw. Me and Ian were watching that ball. He played it in towards Colin Morris right about, and then the midfield players go and try and join in. He's just bobbled it. It's as simple as that. He's gone for the volley. He's hit it into the ground, taken all of the pace off the ball, and it was an easy save.
Big ball, a little bit of poise, plays it towards the left. Sheep comes infield. He looks to try and find Allen, far post. It's headed away by Bell, out towards the far side. Doughty helps Luton get it clear, and then it's charged back towards Allen, but it was a little bit too heavy and it'll run out of play in the left full back position, and Luton will have a throw in on the opposite side of the pitch to us. Luton lost to Crewe in the semi-finals in 97, waited 13 years to get back to the playoffs, and then lost to York in the conference playoff semi-finals. They lost to AFC Wimbledon in the conference playoff final in 2011. They lost to an offside goal against York at Wembley in the final a year later. And their two most recent playoff campaigns, 5 years ago and last year, were heartbreaking too. Well, they're going to turn the tide here at Wembley today in the sunshine. They've already lost Tom Lockyer, their captain, to an injury in the first 10 minutes of this game. Here's Adebayo over on the left-hand side, using his strength and his power and his skill to set the ball up to Clark. Edge of the area, comes into the box and smashes it home, and Luton Town are in front. Brilliant hold-up play by the centre forward Adebayo, who took the ball down the left side, teed it out for Clark, and Clark came in, arriving at just the right time to smash the ball home, score his fourth goal of the season, and put Luton fans in dreamland. It's Coventry 0, Luton 1.
I think that is just outrageous centre-forward play. That's what it is from Adebayo. He just ran with his head down to make sure he got first up, and then there's that bit of quality. Jinks it inside once, cuts back outside and makes Rajin on the second time, and then he's got the awareness just to cut it back for Clark. Lovely first touch to set it up, and then he just strikes through it. I don't think he's really aiming for anywhere, just the middle of the goal, strikes right through it, too much pace. Brilliant centre-forward play in.
Well, you got to say that he knew that was happening. Fantastic bit of play there, but the ground he made up to join, great first touch, wonderful left foot strike, and to me it's about the two boxes today. It's the Coventry have got one up front and a box in midfield, and then Luton have got one sat in front of them, back three, and then a box up front, and that looks to me like it's going to be a big tell on what's going to happen today. Well done to Luton, fantastic goal.
Well, Jordan Clark missed a big chance in the semi-final, but he wasn't missing that one. It was a brilliant strike from Jordan Clark. Goal number 4 of the season, but they don't come much bigger than that.
Do you know what as well? It's about that desire. He could easily have just watched that and Adebayo done the work, and then he looks up and you're not there. He's not. He's thought, I've got to get there. I've got to make sure I'm one of the players. It might not come to me, but one of the players that then tries to disrupt that Coventry backline and frees up a play. It ends up at him. Then the composure. Like I said, got his head down and hit it. The goalkeeper's guessed wrong, and it's just flashed past him.
You're listening to Coventry 0, Luton 1 in the EFL Championship final on talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And Jordan Clark, well known to Mark Robbins from their time together at Barnsley. And I know that Jordan Clark, who grew up in Barnsley, will have a keen eye on what happens on Monday's League One playoff final, which is also live for you on talksport this Monday. Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot will be here for that one. Between now and then we've got so much more to bring you, including tomorrow's final day of the Premier League season. We've got the League 2 final as well earlier in the day, and everything that you could possibly want in terms of football over the course of the next few weeks is live on talksport. And just download our app. You can flick through the 2 stations and you'll get everything that you need. The Coventry fans look a little bit disappointed, look a little bit down. I think they know that Luton has started this game better, and 25 minutes in, they have the control in Holloway.
Yeah, I don't think Mark Robbins will be sending Clark a Christmas card at the moment. But no, there's an awful lot of the game left, and it's still very fascinating. But you have to congratulate Luton so far. They've got their game intact. They know where the threat is, and Mark Robbins' team aren't performing like they can do. So but there's still plenty of game left.
Luton have some happy memories of Wembley, the League Cup in 1988. The Steam boys, Andy Dibble, beating Scunthorpe here in the EFL Trophy. Playoff dreams have been dashed more often than not, but they have the lead here. Gyökeres, though, for Coventry is attacking down the right-hand side. He's going to run out of room trying to keep the ball in, and being chased over on that far side by Osho, and it goes out for a throw into Luton deep inside their own territory.
See, that's what I mean, Sam. That they've overhit that. There's a little bit of tension in that pass. Normally he'd be getting on that now, and they'd be streaming up the pitch to support him. So just got to settle down.
I mean, when you watch Luton, I mean, they're such an outfit in terms of the way they press you, the way they're so aggressive, the way they are direct, but in a proper way, not just lumping it. They are looking for one of the two centre forwards, and then the pressure for the counter press has been outstanding so far.
Here come Palmer and Coventry down the left channel, and working back to get the ball clear was Trame, and it goes out for a throw in level with the edge of the penalty area that Luton are defending. Coventry in possession, left wing is where Jake Bidwell tosses the ball in from. Harmer gets hold of it once again, goes back to the left-hand side where it's collected by Bidwell, and then all the way back to the halfway line, and McFadzean, who's having his first Wembley experience. It hasn't been a great Wembley experience so far. There's still a long way to go in this game. We've only played 28 minutes, and that ball's given away by Doyle, not for the first time. It's played infield to Bell, and now Luton Town can go on the hunt once again. They play the ball wide to the left, and Doughty's got it. He chips the ball right-footed high into the air, looking for Morris. The flick on goes towards Adebayo, then back to Morris. Great decision to come out and chase it by the right centre half McNally, who put his body on the line and just about got enough on the ball to flick it up into the air, and Adebayo can flick in the rebound. It goes out for a goal kick. Another big chance.
Luton are such a handful. Everywhere they put the ball, they're trying to outnumber you for the seconds. I mean, when I played for Wimbledon all those years ago, they talked about naught possession, winning back the naught possession. So you send it long, and then it drops off a centre half's head, and you've got to pick those bits up. And Luton are formidable at this.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've clearly worked on it, especially those two centre forwards. How refreshing is it to see two centre forwards work together and show what handful you can be when there's that real link-up play between the two of you. And Carlton Morris did brilliantly there just to get something on the header. It just then drops to his mate. A little bit of link-up play. I've got to say the defending there from McNally and Doyle to squeeze in between and block that shot from Carlton Morris was outstanding. I think Doyle's actually injured himself in the process, but that was vital.
Well, McNally getting across to squeeze in and stop that shot from going on target was brilliant, and then came back off Doyle. I think McNally injured his mate as a result of trying to block that, which was absolutely vital. But it's Luton Town who lead by a goal to nil. After 23 minutes, the goal came from Clark. It was good work by Adebayo in the left wing position to set up Clark, and Clark smashing it home to give Luton, well, even more thoughts of the Premier League. Let's go down to the touchline. This pause in play. There's a bit of an injury, and both of these two sets of players are taking on a drink, and Dan Windle is down there alongside them.
Callum Doyle limping, Sam, but he's going to be okay to carry on for Coventry. Very interesting. Eddie Vivash, the assistant at Coventry, alongside Mark Robbins on the edge of their technical area in response to Clark's opener for Luton, screaming at the back three, back five. Can we squeeze 15, 20 yards further up the pitch? Can we get Adebayo and Carlton Morris away from our goal, further away from our goal? Luton pinning them in.
Looking at Nick Harford and John Steele watching from on high. They'll be pretty happy with the way things have gone so far. So will Rob Edwards, who's just patrolling inside his technical area down in front of us. Luton have shown a remarkable consistency over 2 seasons with not the biggest budget in the league. And since Rob Edwards took over, they have taken 50 points from 75 available. That is pretty impressive. All cleared upfield by Luton. But remember, Coventry only lost 1 19 coming into this. Robert Mpenzu out towards Morris. He feels he was wrestled to the floor there by Norton Cuffy, but the foul has gone against him as the two tangled in the box and went down. Carlton Morris, who as a kid grew up with Norwich City, you'll remember him, Dean Ashton. He was in the Norwich City team that won the FA Youth Cup, and he played down the middle, feeding off the crosses of the Murphy twins, Jacob and Josh, who have gone on to Cardiff and to Newcastle United.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have hurt him to have left Norwich and maybe not been given maybe the chances he deserves. So he's gone away, he's just worked at his game, and so far he's been excellent alongside his strike partner.
Absolutely. Here comes Gyökeres though, playing it to Bidwell. Bidwell on the left hand side for Coventry City, who trailed by a goal to nil in the playoff final for a place in the Premier League. Into Kelly and then back wide towards the left, and it's collected now by Bidwell and then all the way back to Doyle, and then into Kelly once again. Coventry in possession of the football, 32 on the clock. We're live on talksport, and we are bringing you all the playoff finals this weekend. The England internationals will come a little bit later, and the European finals, the big European finals, including the Europa League on Wednesday night, Sevilla against Roma. Jose Mourinho looking for another trophy, and then we've got the FA Cup final next Saturday. That'll be followed by the European Conference League final the following Wednesday night, live from Prague. Dean Ashton and I going to that one. We'll bring you inside the stadium. We know that many West Ham fans can't get tickets for it because it's a ridiculously small stadium, but we will do our very best to bring you all the atmosphere and the flavour from that trip from the minute we land. I think Dean's going, I think he's going tomorrow actually. He's going earlier on the Monday, I think. We'll be doing our level best to bring you a flavour of that one before Adrian and the team go to Istanbul for another huge moment. Manchester City against Internazionale. Here is Drame for Luton Town, setting the ball square and out toward the left hand side, and Bell has it for Luton. Yard or so in from the touchline. Doughty plays it on, looking for Clark. Clark thinks he was fouled. The ball goes out of play and it's away for a throw over on the far side.
I have to say I'm so impressed with Luton. Without the ball they are brilliant. I know that sounds
Clark
weird.
onto Adebayo, and then here's Pelirolo Kimpanzu out towards Drame. He's on the right side. Adebayo with a header. He gets above his marker and tries to glance it towards the far post, but it goes well wide of the goal in the end. But another example of the delivery and the chaos that causes inside the Coventry box whenever they get it. I mean, really, Coventry haven't had a sniff so far.
No, what I think is brilliant, the two centre forwards come off, they let the back three have it, and then they squeeze you and guide you where they want you to play it, so they outnumber you. It's really brilliant, honestly. They are fantastic.
How much of that is down to good coaching?
It's incredible coaching, absolutely incredible coaching. And not enough of that, because the way Man City play, and everybody tries to copy that, you know, it's all about the ball and the game's changing and, oh, we got to have 15 million passes square and backwards. No, that's not football. There's lots of different ways to do it, and this is a wonderful opportunity for us to see a different side to it.
It's a version of football.
It's a version of football that somebody is sport, and they're winning year after year, but I don't want to see it everybody try it, because you're not good enough.
Ball is on the halfway line with Coventry City's Luke McNally, who's on loan from Burnley. Actually, he's been majorly important since he signed in January. They've only lost 2 of the 21 since his arrival. He's been a big influence on the team. If you look at the statistics before he arrived and then what happened afterwards, he definitely helped to shore up that defence. And they have conceded here. Palmer trying to get on the ball a little bit more, the playmaker for Coventry City, a key figure in their machine as they look to come forward. Jamie Allen lifts it into the air on halfway. Nakamba chasing around and putting pressure on the Coventry midfield. It's put out by Burke on the near side, and it's away for a throw-in. Rob Edwards, the Luton Town manager, did have good foundations on which to build, left to him by Nathan Jones, but that shouldn't taint or diminish what he's achieved just to get Luton here. And he will hope that they can go the next step today. Gyökeres holding off Osho. Back to Gyökeres, looking to go on the outside him again. Didn't really have the ability to go beyond him, and Osho's won the ball, but then given it back inexplicably, and Sheaf then plays it to Bidwell. So a little bit scrappy, and they're not quite in control of the football here, Coventry City, but they've been giving it back again though. It's going to take a deflection and go out on this near side.
I mean, the reason Luton are able to get on top is because defensively they've earmarked the two best players probably on the pitch, really, Harmer and Gyökeres, and they've just nullified that ball into Gyökeres and the ball in behind. And Harmer now, he's having to go really deep to even just get the ball, and he's the one that normally is the one that's breaking and creating for Gyökeres.
Here he is trying to keep hold of the ball inside opposition territory. A rare foray into the Luton half, but Burke has cleared it away after good work from Drame. Brought down into the Luton half by Sheaf. Sheaf trying to charge forward. Burke with another strong challenge. It repels only as far as the centre circle, where Jamie Allen of Coventry works it wide towards the right. And here is Norton Cuffy over on the far side, looking to take the ball into the right wing position. He goes beyond the defender, and then Doughty gets back up and wins it back again. Norton Cuffy comes back at him. A real scrap on that far side. The whistle blows eventually. I don't think Norton Cuffy has heard it, nor has Clark. The free kick was given a couple of minutes ago, and those two walk away disappointed. But it's a proper battle. It's a proper scrap at the moment. It's Luton Town who are coming out on top. We've got 9 minutes before the conclusion of the first half. A lot is made of the set pieces, Dean, and how, you know, having a big physical side, Luton have sort of maximised that, but turning that into be able to a massive benefit without sort of fouling the opponent or causing the opponent grief is quite an art, really. And choreographing those set pieces and maximising their usage is a major triumph for the coaching. Just a little bit of a miscommunication between Wilson and Bidwell yields a throw-in on this near side.
Well, if you've got that physicality and you do use it in the right way, what an advantage it can be.
Yeah.
Teams don't like to, teams, and especially defensive, they'd love to just sit there and have all the play in front of them. When you've got big physical players up against you, and two of them especially,
Penzu in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Morris trying to steer that goalwards. He just couldn't get enough on it in order to do that. Then Wilson's clearance high up the field is just again too long, and it goes all the way through the Horvath.
You've got to find your own way, and if you look at Brentford, they found their own way. They can go long, they can pass. You've got to be able to beat teams, and you know what Luton are showing us today, they know how to put you under massive pressure and make your
Penzu again trying to shoot, blocked this time by Bidwell.
Make your defensive players work, and they are overworking them at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're getting balls in the box with regularity, aren't they, Luton Town? And we haven't seen any of that from Coventry City. And they did have to sort of ride a bit of a storm at Middlesbrough. The goal that they scored came arguably against the run of play, and then when Middlesbrough were really pushing toward the end of that semi-final second leg, they ended up having some good chances on the break, but they haven't had a sniff so far in this game. Harmer on the near side, trying to wriggle away from Penzu, finds Allen trying to turn, and then Drame gets back and shuffles the ball out for a throw-in just on halfway to Coventry City. 1-0 Luton Town lead here. It's the first time that a town has ever played a city in a second-tier playoff.
You are a fountain of knowledge.
It's not true, actually. It's the first time in 30 years, but no one can remember the last time it happened.
I'm old enough to, mate.
Yeah, you can actually. It was Swindon Town back in the day. The last town to get promoted from the second tier playoffs by that route, I think. Here is Bidwell on this near side, trying to toss the ball in. It's played up towards the edge of the Luton penalty area. Gyökeres trying to turn. Drame did well with Burke to repel the action, and again they just squeeze you, tighten around you, almost sort of get you in a bit of a noose, and then just thickening it up so there's no wriggle room, and then they're able to clear Luton. It comes back into the box towards Norton Cuffy. It's cleared away on the edge of the box by Luton, and Doughty has found Clark, and Clark, who's short but very good on the ball, brings it to halfway, plays it out towards the near side, and then it's with Drame and Penzu, and then back infield to Burke, who clips it forward over the halfway line, looking for Carlton Morris to chase. Adebayu's gone across there as well. It's away by Doyle. Penzu in towards Nakamba, who's going to get the second ball here if the referee gets out of the way, which he does. He did well, and he plays it down the left, and there's a chance for Doughty now to get beyond the defender. He drives into the box, takes a deflection, cleared off the line, comes off the defender and in. But was there a handball as it came back off Adebayo, who tried to block the attempted clearance off the line by the Coventry City defender, and it appeared to hit the hand of Adebayo and go into the net, and that will be ruled out because you can't put the ball into the net with your hand.
Yeah, I mean, no jury needed for that one. I mean, he couldn't have looked more guilty, could he, Adebayo? He knew straight away that it hit his elbow. But again, it just shows that real
It was
threat.
a bit Ben Wilson, wasn't it?
He did. He had that guilty look on his face. I think that the problem that Mark Robbins has got to sort out at half-time, you can't let one of the Luton centre-halves have time on the ball that they're doing at the moment. You've got Gyökeres up there, you've got to put him under pressure.
In terms of that, he's chosen Allen instead of maybe Godden. Do you second guess yourself now, or do you think, no, I've got to stick with what I thought originally and not panic?
No, you cannot let this happen. That left-sided centre-half or the right-sided centre-half has got time on the ball to deliver these balls forward. You can't do it.
As
you're going to have to change it. Get two up front.
Norton Cuffy brings the ball away up towards the halfway line, and now Harmer can charge clear for Coventry City, looking to get it early in towards Gyökeres, but he was blocked off. It was too early, and there's no way he was going to get beyond Burke. He scurried out to the left side and collected the ball for Coventry. Now looking to attack once more, but lots of orange shirts have come back into position, and now it's at the feet of Liam Kelly. And they're looking to try and find a route through. Ben Sheaf might provide that. He drops into a number 10 position, but he's followed by Nakamba. Can't get it away. It's relentless defending this from Luton, but they played their way down the left-hand side. A chance to cross by Bibble. He eludes the goalkeeper, comes towards Harmer, and his volley's over the top of the crossbar. For Horvath there, didn't imagine that he wasn't going to claim the ball. I don't know if he got caught in the sun, but it went over his head, and he completely missed it. And coming in at the far post, Harmer managed to get a shot on goal. And if he had have made it on target, that would have been 1-1.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Coventry style, isn't it? The passing, got it on the floor, got it moving. Wow, what an opportunity that was for that young man.
I love the way that Bidwell just stood that cross up. That's all he could really do. And then Harmer coming in at the back post. What a difficult skill that is. When it bounces high, almost the side volley, but when it's bounced high towards you, really difficult to keep that down. But that's a big chance.
Big chance for Coventry. There haven't been too many of those in the game. Luton have had quite a few, but now they've won the ball on halfway, and they're a little bit misshapen here. It's Sheaf in towards Gyökeres, edge of the area. Back to Sheaf once again. Played it left. Harmer inside the area. Tries to jink it onto his right foot because he wants to get the shot away. Can't do so. Back to Sheaf, and all the orange shirts are back again. Here is Norton Cuffy, and it's intercepted over on that far side, and Doughty is speeding away, and it's 3-on-3, and Luton coming forward down the left-hand side. Colton Morris has got it now. He plays it against McNally, and I think it came back off Morris and goes out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. We've definitely got a contest here, haven't we?
We certainly have. It's getting really interesting. I really wanted Coventry to show us what they've got, and they're starting to do that now. Wow, what a game. Brilliant defending, wasn't it, in the end there?
In the end, but I just thought it was too slow. Far too. Once Harmer gets on the ball and jinks twice, and then Luton are back. You know, it's that moment where he's got to recognise either you shift it and you shoot, or you jink and then you've got to pass and release it. They let him off the hook, I thought, there.
There's a couple of times where they've just maybe gone that one touch too many, and as a result of it, Luton have been very good at getting back behind the ball when that has been the case. Stifled the attack. Here is Adebayo on halfway. Harmer goes across and tries to nudge it away from him, and it goes out on this near touchline away for a Coventry City throw.
You don't see that very often either. The centre half is stride for stride with Gyökeres. He normally leaves people, doesn't he? So that, you know, they're fantastic athletic ability. But come on, Coventry, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them at the moment. They look like they've settled down.
Coventry have got good history at Wembley. They've won the EFL trophy here recently. They beat Exeter in the League 2 playoff final in 2018, and fans with older memories will recall the FA Cup final of 1987. Keith Houchin, Dave Bennett, John Sillett, George Curtis, Grizovic, who's here today, the big goalie, Brian Kilcline. You weren't born, were you, Dean?
I know those names. Big Brian Kilcline, mate. You won't want to argue with him.
Even now. They went behind early in that game as well, if I remember rightly, to a Clive Allen goal, and they had to fight back and win the final as a result.
Sam, that's very impressive, mate.
2 minutes on the clock, I think it was. It was his 49th goal of the season for Clive Allen that day. Here is Norton Cuppy playing the ball out towards the near side. Harmer trying to get on it, and then because he didn't quite manage to find his pass, the referee, who had initially played the advantage, Michael Oliver, pulls it back for a free kick on the cusp of the centre circle. We've got 8 minutes of added time in this first half.
A bit more of that needed.
Ruin my toilet break at half-time now.
A bit more of that needed though. Norton Cuffy, excellent physical play, aggressive, you know, just kept going and trying to, and you've got to try and match Luton in a sense in that physical way.
Harmer with the free kick, played towards the left. Doyle trying to come round the back, but Drame was equal to it. It's headed away and then back down the left-hand side for Sheaf, who guides it back to halfway. Harmer forward, Allen, quick steer into the centre, but didn't look up before he did that and ended up playing it straight to Rhys Berg. They're winning it back now in midfield at Coventry City. Harmer with a tackle which wasn't particularly friendly on Carlton Morris. The ball has spilt to the far side. The referees allowed it and said play on. And Luton look to build once again. 1-0 they lead, courtesy of Jordan Clark with his 4th goal of the season. We're into the 3rd of 8 minutes of added time as we look to see who will be going to the Premier League. Gyökeres there, drawing a foul from Osho. And it's a dangerous area with which to give away a free kick at the end of the first 45 minutes, Dean Ashton.
It's the first time we've just seen a little bit of panic from a defender against Gyökeres. They're just coming into the game, Coventry, just finishing the half well, and he's definitely got a fistful of his shirt, Osho, but Gyökeres knows that, throws himself over. Sounds like I've been there. Ball swung in towards the near post. It's flicked into the air. It's kept alive by McNally. It drops for Sheep inside the box. He tees it up towards the far side. Norton Cuppy doesn't release it immediately. He holds on to the ball on the right edge of the Luton penalty area. Coventry on the attack with Harmer. Into Norton Cuffy once again. Back to Harmer, who left-footed delivers the ball deep inside Luton territory. And then the goalkeeper, Horvath, ends up colliding with his centre half. And it's Burke coming in on this near side, who's already had to come on and replace Lockyer. Do you know,
in this first 45 minutes?
Do you know what? This isn't very nice, you know. I couldn't quite tell who it was. One of the Coventry players pushes the defender in towards the goalkeeper. I don't like that. It's not a nice thing to see. And then they collide because of it.
Now they want a bit of treatment for Ivan Horvath, who did have to come on at the end of the Championship playoff final last year after an injury for Bryce Samba. And there was just a little thrust from McFadzean on Burke, which meant that he tumbled into the goalkeeper. I'm not entirely sure that
could have been a lot worse.
It's going to be as bad as maybe it looks initially. I think the Luton Town goalkeeper might also be quite pleased just to take a little bit of respite, because actually for the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes, for the first time, Coventry have really come into the game.
They've been excellent, and I mean the game has stretched a little bit. I think that does help Coventry. Hamer has got onto the ball. Gyökeres as well has just started to get into the game. You've got to be, Aid talked about it before the game, can you be brave in these big games? And it's almost like Coventry finally have thought, actually, we can't let this just continue where we're being bullied. We've got to be a little bit braver, a bit more progressive in our play, and it's just opened the game up.
I think the biggest thing for me, Luton, their back three have got out and got out and got out, and they're playing so high, so, can they continue to do that? You give that Coventry midfield for some space, you're in trouble.
Kimpanzu to pick the ball up inside Coventry territory, then nudged it out of play and away for a throw-in down in front of us away to our left. You're listening to the EFL Championship Playoff live on talksport, with Coventry trailing by goal to nil to Luton, with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. After us, Alex Crook's got the boot room alongside Darren Ambrose and Adebayo Akinfenwa. He knows what it's like to be involved in the playoffs. And over from 7 o'clock on talksport 2, you can hear coverage of of the undercard fights ahead of Lawrence Okoli versus Chris Billum-Smith from the Vitality Stadium in Bournemouth. The World Cruiserweight title, the WBO World Cruiserweight title, is up for grabs tonight. It's a fight you can hear live and exclusively on talksport tonight. Ball cleared by Horvath, flicked on by Burke on halfway, helped forward by Morris, who nudges it down towards Adebayo. It's then kicked long down the left, and then Osho is being chased by Gyökeres into the right fullback position. Kelly picks it up for Coventry inside Luton territory. There's a bit more about Coventry the longer the game has gone on. 51 on the clock. Ball out on the right hand side, collected now by Norton Cuffy, who plays it against the fullback Doughton. It goes out for a throw-in in the right wing position as Coventry look at it, ready to launch another late attack in the game. We've played 51 minutes of this first half. Because of the injury to Lockyer, there is a sizable delay. Coventry haven't made the most of that, but then Luton have given it away, and Doyle has pinched it halfway inside opposition territory. Dordal on the ball, ended up giving it away to Marvellous Nakamba, who's on loan from Aston Villa, and the ball is then out of play over on the far side.
What a great name, Marvellous Nakamba.
It's not a great name, it's marvellous.
What a marvellous name. Wow. They've got some great loans, haven't they? You know,
They've done very well in the loan market, haven't they? Yeah, you've got Callum Doyle on loan from Manchester City, Luke McNally on loan from Burnley, Norton Cuffy's on loan from Arsenal. I mean, it is great, but it does mean that if they are to go into the Premier League, then Coventry will have to maybe upgrade their team. And Luton, with Nakamba, who's on loan, and one or two others as well, they might have to think about dipping into the market should they get promoted. That's the challenge that was facing Nottingham Forest when they went up at the end of last season. Here is Sheaf, who tried to play the ball intelligently down the left channel looking for Allen, but he didn't quite get the run that he wanted. Luton have got the run that they want from Adebayo on this near side, and he's moved towards the edge of the penalty area, attacking the goal away to our right. He's gone past Doyle, ran into him, then went down looking for a penalty. The referee was immediate in his dismissal of that, and it goes up to Gyökeres, who was dragged to the floor on the halfway line. The referee didn't give a foul for that either. How? And Marvellous Nakamba has picked it up and turned the ball over once again. I'm not quite sure, actually.
He had his arm around his neck
And dragged him to the floor.
I thought he did brilliantly there. Gyökeres just sort of cushioned it with the head, tried to then control it.
Here comes Doughty, moving towards the Coventry penalty area. The ball is caught under the feet of Morris. They're scrapping for it in the muck and nettles of the midfield area. It's clipped long up towards Gyökeres, who's trying to isolate Burke. Burke does brilliantly. Puts his body between the big Swede and where he wants the ball to go, and nudged it back to Horvath, the road to our left-hand side.
That's the right-sided centre-half ending up in the centre. Brilliant from the two of them, marking him. He's a handful, isn't he? Good gracious me, Gyökeres is a handful.
Yeah, he certainly is. Palmer has been sent long down the right side. Bell's got to cross and try to shuffle him out of play. It's been kept in over on the far side by Harmer, who's trying to twist and turn in the right wing position. Needs a little bit of help here. And Kelly's come up to try and support him, but they found a ball on the edge of the box for Allen. It's miscontrol. Burke manages to come across and charge it towards the edge of the box, and it will get cleared by Bell up towards Carlton Morris, who holds on to it brilliantly under pressure, and almost got away actually from Doyle. When he didn't, he got crunched by Sheep. It's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line. Oh, that is the half-time whistle, and this brilliant first half has been brought to a close. It's been a very different first 45 minutes to maybe what you might usually see at this time on a Saturday evening, but what an evening it's been so far for Luton Town. Well choreographed, well organised, and on top for large parts of that first 45 minutes. Coventry sneaking back into it towards the end. Now, less than a decade ago they were playing in the Conference, Luton, but they're now 45 minutes away from a return to the Premier League thanks to Jordan Clark's goal. Coventry 0, Luton 1. Yep, and they've made a change at the start of the second half. Coventry City, Jamie Allen's come off and on has come Matt Godden. More details on that after we've got an update on the health of Tom Lockyer from Dan Windle.
Reports out of the Luton dressing room in the last few minutes. Tom Lockyer awake, conscious, and on his way to hospital after collapsing during the first half here at Wembley. When we get more on his status, we'll bring it to you here on talksport.
Well, our best wishes to him. and we'll keep you updated and abreast of that story. He went down in the first 10 minutes of the match with no one around him, and as a result of that was immediately substituted and had to be stretchered off. There was a lengthy delay, and there were concerns for him. A yellow card in the first few seconds of the second 45 goes for a Coventry City defender, and it's going to be a free kick to Luton really early in the start of this second 45. I'll talk to the two gentlemen to my left in just a second about Matt Godden's arrival. He has got a terrific shot conversion record this season for Coventry City, and they were lacking a little bit of punch up front in that first 45 minutes. I'll go through the two lineups for you in just a second, but first of all, let's get this free kick out of the way with Doughty placing the ball down. Orange shirt, navy shorts, orange, navy and white socks, attacking the goal away to our left. Luton, they swing the ball in towards the middle of the penalty area. It's headed away by McNally, comes out as far as Nakamba, who nudges it in towards the edge of the penalty area. Harmer tries to get it further clear, and then Kelly clears it up towards Gyökeres, who's going to try and hold on to it on the halfway line. So the two teams, Coventry with Wilson in goal, McNally, McFadden and Doyle the back three. The wing backs, Norton, Cuffy and Bidwell, Kelly, Sheaf and Harmer in midfield, with Gyökeres now joined with Matt Godden up top. And he's the target of the ball played forward by Kelly, doesn't quite reach him. Luton have got Horvath in goal, Osho, Burke and Bell as the back three. And here comes Carlton Morris over the top of the defence into the left channel, stands it up, gets it back to Adebayo, who's being pressured from behind by Kelly, who just managed to put him off, but he was offside anyway. So the Luton line-up, Horvath in goal, Osho, Burke and Bell, Drame, Ruddock and Panzu, Nakamba, Clark and Doughty, Adebayo and Morris up top. Let's get the thoughts of Ian Holloway. What do you think that change does to Coventry City?
Well, it stops the service to the centre forwards of Luton, and I think that was a big thing. Maybe Mark will look at he got his foot in there.
There was a little bit of a casual back pass there, played by Bell towards his goalkeeper, and as Horvath tried to get it onto his left foot to clear, he was shut down by Harmer. Almost a dangerous spillage.
Yeah, that's also to attack with it, but it's also to stop the biggest problem that they had was the opposite centre half was smacking it on a big diagonal, so now you leave the middle one with it, they can't hit that pass. So now I'm expecting Coventry to show us what they can do.
Norton Cuffy trying to bring the ball out on this right hand side, and the chase is on. Doughty immediately puts the squeeze on, but they get the ball clear. It's up towards Harmer halfway. Sheep takes over now, runs down the right side, nudges it on to Godden. Godden moves towards the edge of the penalty area, plays it back to Sheep. There's a bit of space here for Kelly. Out wide is Doyle. Doyle gets hold of it now in the left wing position for Coventry, coming forward away to our right, shooting towards their fans behind the goal that Horvath is defending. It's swung in by Doyle, takes a deflection, goes behind, and it's a corner, an early corner at the start of the second half for Coventry City. Dean Ashton?
I think as well, someone who'll be delighted is Gyökeres. I think it just takes the pressure off him playing against three of the centre-backs on his own. Godden up there with him. He'll now put that little bit of doubt in the three centre-backs' minds, who's picking up who. Also Harmer as well now, maybe that little freer role as a 10.
Here is the corner, whipped in towards the near post. It's not a great delivery. Godden helps it on. It runs loose inside the box and goes out eventually for a goal kick after I think it was Kelly put a bit of pressure on. It goes behind anyway, and it's away for a goal kick. The bad news is for Coventry City that they are one of only two teams in the Championship this season who failed to win after conceding the first goal. That statistic, when it's in the back of your mind, does it affect you, or do you not really know things like that when you're on the pitch?
You don't normally think of things like that, but they're showing me an awful lot of character, and I'm not worried about that. This could be a great first time to do it, wouldn't it?
And the ball just spilt towards the edge of the 6-yard box after a collision involving the goalkeeper Horvath and Gyökeres. I mentioned he managed to clear it, Luton Town, but Coventry have come forward again. Sheaf moving towards the midpoint of the Luton half. It's played out wide towards the right-hand side. Collected now by Sheaf, who played it too far in front of Norton Cuffy, and it goes away for a...
Don't argue, keep encouraging each other. These things happen.
Luton Town have made a statement in the last few minutes when they say that we are able to report that after collapsing on the pitch, Tom Lockyer has been taken to hospital for further tests. He's responsive and talking to his family who are with him. We are with you, Locks. Does seem quite a worrying incident, doesn't it?
It didn't look good, did it? And we really wish him well. I mean, you could tell by Mark Robbins' demeanour that he was going to give them a rocket at half-time. It's as simple as that. They've come out, the intensity's totally different.
Coventry on the attack again. The ball drops inside the Luton half of the field. Sheaf it is who clips it down the right side. Norton Cuppy tries to get in behind Bell. Bell allows it to go out of play, and it's away for a goal kick away to our right. The whole pitch now in shade as it's later on in the evening here. It's absolutely jam-packed. 36,000 Coventry supporters on Luton Town on the other end, selling both their allocations out for this playoff final. There were special events planned all over Coventry. The Sky Blue Tavern did breakfast for those travelling to the game this morning. For those that couldn't get to the game, they have it on. Dillon's Brewery next to the stadium was giving away a free can of Sky Blue Army Lager to 500 lucky customers. I thought it was going to be party time in Coventry today. As of yet, there hasn't been too much to shout about for their team. 51 on the clock. They win a foul on this near side. Doughty commits that foul. And it goes back to McAnally, who was booked in the first action of this second half. It goes down into the right wing position, but Bell gets across and stops Harmer from getting on the ball. He's under a bit of pressure from Harmer. He protects it well, takes it towards the corner flag, digs it out, but only as far as Norton Cuppy, who tries to get it on to Sheaf. It'll be picked up by Kelly here. Kelly pushes it on. Jokeres is going to get there. He does get there. Kelly dives in. It's all happening on the edge of the box here. Harmer to Kelly, edge of the area, right-footed shot over the top of the crossbar. And Liam Kelly, who hasn't scored this season, in fact hasn't scored since 2020, was a little bit ambitious there, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, you could tell the guilt on his face as he turned round, and every single one of his teammates gave him a stare and a shout as if to say, what are you doing, when you've got better players in and around that area. Also, he was really straight to it and just skied it over the crossbar.
I will put my neck on the line. I don't think this game is going to end 1-0. Right, I'm not saying who's going to score. I would be flabbergasted if it stays how it is.
They do know each other so well since Mark Robbins has been reappointed as the manager of Coventry in March 2017. His team has played Luton 10 times, 2 more times than any other team they've played in that time. And there's a bit of an issue here for Luton because Reece Burke has had a head collision over on the far side. He's gone down needing treatment. And it's one of his teammates who I think he bumped into. Osho, who's over there as well, who's gone down. As a result of that, another stretcher is coming out. They can't afford to lose another central defender here. Osho's getting back to his feet now. And Burke is the one that's still down. And couple of substitutes warming up down in front of us, away to our left-hand side for Luton Town. Have just been given a bit of a sign.
Do you think Luton have got enough staff out there, by the way?
Yeah, good gracious me, yeah.
I got into a lift earlier on today in the hotel across the road where Luton is staying, and they all piled in next to me. There is quite a few of them, isn't there?
Just look at them.
And they're all sort of, most of them are quite fit young men as well, aren't they?
There's 9 down there as I've just counted. This is so unfortunate, isn't it?
Well, Burke is back up on his feet again, and he is going out towards the far side just to get checked out by the medical staff. He's back on once more. They've had experience, Luton, of playing playoff finals in non-league, but this is their first experience of an EFL playoff final. They finished 3rd in the regular season, Coventry 5th. The side finishing 3rd has failed to win promotion in 5 of the last 8 championship playoff finals they've competed in. The others are Norwich, Fulham and Brentford. Here is Jokeres up towards the edge of the area. Couldn't quite squeeze it to Godden. It's half cleared. And then won by Pelly, Roddick and Panzu. Then they gave it back to Coventry deep inside their own half. And Luton at the moment can't get outside their own half of the field. Good work by Jokeres to get to the edge of the penalty area. Across comes Osho and manages to clear. And Luton just trying to get it away. They've just slightly changed how they're operating, Coventry City, at the latter part of the first half. At the beginning of this second 45, they've grown into the match, and they are now pushing forward with Harmer over the halfway, right of the centre circle, onto Norton Cuffy, who gets into a right wing position. He crosses low and in towards the near post, doesn't quite reach Godden, and the ball's smuggled out by the Luton defence, and Godden runs over in towards the first sort of few areas of the stadium where the fans are populated, and starts screaming at the supporters to get behind their team as they go late into the game.
We have got a serious game on our hands here, chaps.
Corner to be taken on this near side, and it's whipped in by Bidwell deep towards the far post, and Anthony was coming in underneath it, didn't get a clean header on the ball, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick. But that was a delicious delivery, and there haven't been too many of those from Coventry actually. When they've been in set piece positions, they've wasted those.
Yeah, that was a decent delivery, and it was just unfortunate actually for McNally that there was a tiny touch from, I don't know whether it was a defender or his own teammate. He might have just touched it. It was the defender. Just got a glance, and it then just pinged off the top of his head, and the chance was gone. But it's been such a better start to this half anyway for Coventry.
Good management. He saw what was wrong and changed it.
Well, he's often referred to as the man that saved Fergie's job at United, for the goal against Nottingham Forest that stopped another trophy this season for the great man early in his reign. And he's much more than that. Maybe not always the most charismatic in front of camera, Mark Robins, but a thoughtful, clever manager, very clear with his instructions, direct with his players. He knows what it's like to play here. He came off the bench in the 1990 FA Cup final replay, which they won a playoff final here as a playoff player with Leicester City, and now on the verge of doing something special with Coventry City if they can claw back this deficit and make a real contest of this tie. He's just signed a new 4-year contract as well, 2027, which is a good sort of show of the faith that the new executive chairman Doug King has in him. And boy, should they have faith in him after what he's done for them across 2 spells. Ball sent long down the left-hand side by Coventry, won by Burke, picked up by Kelly, given back to Burke, who's just over halfway for Luton Town, on the right side by the touchline. He scoops it forward, Adebayo making a nuisance of himself, kicked and cleared away, up towards halfway, helped on that left-hand side, doesn't quite find Gyökeres, and then Harmer trying to win it. It goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Horvath, who kicks clear high into the evening sky. A flick on by McFadzean, goes through to Doyle, but it's very quick to get back to a Luton body, and here's Robert Quimpanzu trying to play it through the legs of Sheaf, maybe a little bit too ambitious, but he was looking for Jordan Clark, who was just left of centre, and now Coventry have got it back again. Up to halfway they go. Harmer moves forward, immediately tries to release the ball down the right channel, but he never got that right, did he?
No, he saw the run of Gyökeres, great run again, and just take your time, you're playing well, get back in it. It's just the occasion again, and he's trying to rush you. Great run, wrong timing.
Desperation.
If you were Luton manager, would you be thinking about making changes?
Not at the moment, no. I just encourage him to do what we did in the first half, give him less time.
Ronald was just screaming at his team down in front of us, trying to dish out a few instructions.
But the problem is Luton can't get out like they did in the first half and put you under the pressure that they wanted you to. They're trapped in, so this is a game of chess now. It's wonderful. Can't wait to see.
We haven't seen one of those diagonals in this second half, which you talked about with me at half time, Ian, in terms of stopping that. But also, I don't know whether it's Osho and Burke have swapped. So Burke was in the middle in that first half, and Osho's gone through the middle now. So I think maybe that's that protection, that added bit of pace right through the middle. Now there's 2 of them.
Osho's started off the game as the right centre half, has gone into become the centre of the 3 at the back, and they've won another set piece, Luton, this time on the near side, midway inside Coventry territory, and a chance really for the first time in this second half of the game to try and construct something with Doughty on this near touchline. Alfie Doughty, who's got great delivery, scored at the Stadium of Light in March, but he is a provider more than anything else. 6 assists in the championship season this campaign, places the ball down, he's got 4 or 5 to aim at, it's deep towards the far post, Morris is underneath it, heads it down, hits the defender and goes away, but there was a pull on the shirt on the way through, so it's going to be a free kick just inside the 6-yard box.
Decent delivery.
It's funny, you're really up against it. You're down on points if this was a boxing match, you're down on points if you're Coventry, and you're also against a big puncher, because they're brilliant at set pieces, aren't they? But they dealt with that quite well.
I think that they look calm though. I think the instructions that were given at half-time, Coventry, has given them a bit of clarity, I think, in the way that they're going to play this second half with that intensity. And ultimately, if when you've got to get back into the game, you are maybe going to take a risk at the back, but I think that's the only way of getting your best players into this game for Coventry.
Yeah, I think having that tough game against Middlesbrough and finishing with the one up front and doing so well, it hasn't really helped him in this game. But he's sussed it. Anything can happen. We still, what it's like, the tug of war. Can they get? If they can get an equaliser, wow, what a game we'll have on our hands. I don't want them to, obviously, I'm totally impartial, but, when if you're not here, and I'm trying to describe it, and it's on a knife edge right now.
Well, the Championship playoff final has given us some terrific games and seismic moments over the course of the years. Scott Sinclair's performance for Swansea, the Ricardo Vazte West Ham winner, the Dean Winder strike for Hull, and Bobby Zamora goal in the last few seconds. It's a match that makes heroes. You've had some good moments here as well in these games.
I thought you were going to mention Brett Orwell's winner, Charlie Adams' free kick, and Kevin Phillips' penalty. Kevin Phillips' penalty.
3-2 that game.
All my life, if I wanted anyone to take a penalty for me, it was Kevin Phillips.
Here on the right-hand side, the ball is with Luton Town coming down the right touchline, moving towards the edge of the penalty area. Adebayo doesn't get on the end of it. It goes through to Horvath, and it's cleared, it's cleared away by Coventry City, who have the ball inside their own half. And Kelly finds Sheep, and he moves over the halfway line into opposition territory, being marshalled by Radok Mpanzu. Still Coventry on the ball, checking over, trying to find a way through this tightly packed Luton defence. They've defended so well in the game so far, Luton Town. Can they continue that now they've got twin strikers to try and deal with? A bit more attacking thrust. Godden coming in from the right-hand side. Gyökeres through the centre. Doyle struck from 25 yards out. And with all due respect to Callum Doyle, who's on loan from Manchester City, he hasn't yet scored for his new loan club.
Well, he won't if he does that, that's the occasion. Don't do that. Your teammates should be calming him down. What are you doing? Shooting from there.
I wouldn't mind it. It's not even as if his own supporters were telling him to shoot, which normally encourages the centre-half to have a go.
Dino, I wouldn't mind you shooting from there, mate. It'd probably go in.
He did score a big goal, actually, in the under-19s European Championship final for England last year. And he did play in this game last season, away game at Wembley, in a playoff final game at Wembley for Sunderland last year as well. Callum Doyle is on loan from Manchester City. Let's go down to the touchline because there's more details from Dan Windle about to come out.
Both technical areas working hard. Sam, as Coventry work it down the right-hand side. Eddie Vivash, Mark Robbins deep in conversation, wanting Coventry, yes, improvements, but to move the ball still much, much faster. For Luton, Alan Campbell has been sent out to warm up.
The ball is with the Luton Town in the left full-back position. They're quite happy to try and take as much time over these restarts as possible now. Luton Town, as they look to wind the clock down, 64 on the clock. There's still a way to go in this playoff final. Luton unbeaten in their last 9 meetings with Coventry in all competitions. Haven't lost to them since October 2017 when these two were in League Two. It's been some journey since then. Here is Gyökeres over on the far side. Coventry know they can't afford not to leave everything out on the field of play. They've just lost the ball, and it's a good tackle by Radok Mpanzu, and he's found Wilson, and then Clark has got it. He's gone over halfway. They're on the counter now. Wilson has to readjust his position as Morris goes down the right side and moves towards the edge of the box, produces a cross, it takes a deflection and goes behind and away for a corner to Luton Town. That was a quick, sharp counter-attack. Morris down that right-hand side, into Clark, back to Morris, and Morris threatened to attack the Wilson goal away to our left-hand side, and he's generated a corner.
Clark's been outstanding, hasn't he? What a fantastic player. Great attack. What a game.
I mean, clearly he's that one player, isn't he, that's given that licence to say, as soon as that does go up, it's you. You've got to be the one that goes and be given the freedom that you don't have to worry about what's behind you. But this is the risk you're going to take if you're Coventry, that they might get these odd attacks and you're going to have to deal with them.
He's got the Clark as well to try and open up the defence. He's good at carrying the ball in towards the near post. The corner goes Morris with a header, but it's blocked by brilliant challenge by McNally. Goes back out wide left. Into the box it goes again. This time further away by Bidwell. Goes up towards the midpoint of the Luton half, and then Harmer sends it wide towards the left, and now Doyle sends it into the path of Gyökeres, who's on the scamper into Luton territory. Now he's in the box. He sets it up the Harmer edge of the area. Right-footed shot from the edge of the box, and it scores! Scores a seismic goal for Coventry City on the breakaway. The team that have scored more goals in the Championship from fast breaks than anybody else have done it again. Sometimes it's all about timing, and Coventry City often get their timing right. They've equalised with 25 minutes to go, and they will have just turned the tide in the EFL Championship playoff final. 1-1.
If you want to get to the Premier League, you need a bit of Premier League quality, and these two have got it in abundance. Gyökeres again, you give him that space, and once he gets through, he's clinical in terms of his decision making. He's good, he could have gone and dribbled, he didn't, he spotted his mate. Harmer just running towards the edge of the box, a little bit like Adebayo in the first half. He plays it into Harmer, and I tell you what, the coolness of this finish, he could easily have smashed it high and wide, he didn't, he just opened up that side foot, crisply zinged it across that slick surface into the far corner.
Well, big games need massive players, and he's turned up on the big occasion. He scored the goal that took them to Wembley. It's his 5th goal in his last 8 games, and when they needed a little bit of quality and a cool head in front of goal, Ian Holloway, he provided it.
Well, absolutely. I'm still purring about the pass from Doyle up the side of the defender for Gyökeres to get on. Then he spots his mate, and what a beautiful finish.
There's a cloud of light blue smoke, sky blue smoke, which has started to drift in from the pyrotechnics that have been led off by the jubilant Coventry City fans. And it's drifting all over Wembley now, and the mood amongst the Luton Town fans has changed as a result of that. 66 on the clock when they scored their equalising goal, Coventry. And as Ian Holloway has been saying for the last few minutes, if there's an equaliser in this game, we have got some match on our hands.
We certainly have. Two very, very good footballing teams, and I'm loving the difference in not just style, it's approach to the game, and I'm loving it. It's fantastic. We need different things every week to see different styles.
Yeah, we do. And look, it's problem solving, isn't it? Mark Robins did it at half time. He solved that problem. It's now down to Luton Town to do the same, and sometimes the manager can have those options, but in game, as a player, can you recognise what you need to do? If the ball's not coming now to the two centre forwards, does it maybe have to come into your feet and you combine? You might have to change what you're doing.
Well, Gyökeres' goals have been important, but his assists have been important too, and he's been integral to Coventry over the course of the season, and he set up the chance for Harmer to score. And Gustavo Harmer, who is a Brazilian-born but Netherlands citizen, has smacked in what could be a game-changing goal here at Wembley. And all of a sudden the momentum has swung in Coventry's favour. But Ian Holloway, it had been Coventry who had started to creep into the ascendancy in this game before that.
Yeah, well, Luton had a fantastic start. Obviously, they got a really, really good goal, but they were creeping back in it, and then the change at half-time, the manager noticed what he needed to do to stop the opposition, and he's changed it up, and the lads are responding. Right now, I'm expecting Luton to come back. I think it's going to be they are a handful. You will not want to play them every week. What a fantastic advert for our second top division. It's brilliant, isn't it?
You're listening to Coventry 1, Luton 1 in the EFL Championship final, live on talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. More big moments like this over the course of the weekend. Tomorrow we're at Leicester. at Everton and at Leeds for the final day of the Premier League. We've got every angle covered for you. We've got the League 2 playoff final prior to that with Nigel Adderley and David Connolly, and then on Monday we'll bring you the conclusion to the playoffs, the League 1 playoff final. That's live. We're on air from 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. On Wednesday night we have got full coverage of the Europa League final live on talksport and nowhere else. Sevilla against Roma, and then the weekend the FA Cup final is live on talksport. All the football all the time, you know, it makes sense. Here is Gyökeres trying to chase down a ball forward by McFadzean, stopped by Bell, who then left it for Osho. He sends it square, collected by Burke, and then back into Osho once again. Taps it into midfield where Clark, who created the noise in the first half of his goal which set things off, plays it back into a central position. Wide it goes now onto Pelirana Kimpenzu. He tries to cut infield, but Norton Cuffy is there just to brush him off the ball, take it away, and then it's cleared upfield and into opposition territory. And Matt Godden just turns round to his midfielders and just says to Liam Kelly, just calm it down just a little bit, don't rush it, we're in the ascendancy here.
It's just this occasion, honestly, you know, it's so finely balanced, this game at the moment.
On a knife edge at Wembley. Luton going ahead, pegged back by Coventry City, who haven't come back to win a game over the course of the season from a deficit, but have come back to draw quite a few matches from deficits in the championship season. Here's Godden down the right hand side, tussling with Osho, commits a foul on the right side of the area, and then Godden, who's almost acting like the cheerleader, the conductor of the orchestra behind the goal, gets back to his feet and once again waves more support from the Coventry City support behind the goal away to our right hand side. Now it's important, Dean Ashton, that after a couple of times not getting the delivery right, they get this one spot on.
Of course, give your attacking players a chance, but brilliant work from Godden. He just gives them that extra little bit of pace. Allen's a terrific player, but he hasn't got that pace to keep up with Gyökeres and be a second threat when that ball's played over the top. I mean, he didn't deserve to really win anything there, and I actually think Osho needed to deal with that a lot better.
Well, Harmer is going to take the free kick on the right hand side. He delivers it into a difficult area, and McFadzean was coming in at the back post and tried to get something on it, didn't quite reach him and squirts out to the far side, and they'll be cleared away. And there's an opportunity to get the ball forward long here up to Clark, but they didn't play it, and as a result of that the ball forward was cut out by Gyökeres, and now it's deep inside Luton territory once again. It's played back in field to Gyökeres. Coventry coming forward, slid into the box, a step over, it comes towards the edge of the penalty spot, and Godden swiveled and hit it and elevated over the top of the crossbar. The step over from Ben Sheep was delicious, the ball into him was even better, and Godden, who turned and tried to fire that ball into the top corner of the net, was oh so close, Ian Holloway.
Yeah, it's weird how it's turned around a little bit, but they've got the momentum at the minute, Coventry, and this is the time where sort of Lockyer would be really badly missed, you know. If I was Rob, I'd be thinking about what I can do to try and change this, because, you know, the momentum's definitely with Coventry.
What a chance.
Oh, I mean, you could see Godden knew that was a big chance for him, because it initially was meant for the midfield runner. It then eventually came to him. Lovely first touch, and he just wanted to sort of touch it with the right and then shift and strike with the left. It was a little bit snatchy, a tiny bit snatchy, which just meant he lifted it over the top of the crossbar.
That doesn't look particularly comfortable for Gustavo Harmer, who's taken a whack in the centre circle. Immediately the medical staff called on. Looks like he suffered a kick as two players collided. We're going to take another drinks break. I mean, Matt Godden, he scored against Luton earlier in the season at the CBS Arena back in February. He's ex-Posh, he's been at Coventry for 4 years now. His goal-scoring record is pretty handy, really. And he has playoff experience. He lost the Conference South playoff final on penalties with Ebbsfleet. He scored his penalty. You would expect him to. And I think he will look back at that chance and think he probably should have scored there.
Yes, I think that's that eagerness just to get that strike away, full concentration on what was a decent chance. But if they just keep producing these opportunities for We're still waiting for Gyökeres, aren't we? You expect Gyökeres to get a chance in this game.
Well, I'm feeling for Rob at the moment, because Rob would have gone in there, Rob Edwards at half-time, the Luton manager, and actually said, look, keep doing what we're doing, lads. And he didn't anticipate that they would have changed to this and be pinned back like this. So, you know, he's just had a little meeting with his lads through this injury, and that might help them settle down again.
Let's get an insight into that meeting, which was happening on the cusp of the technical area, because Dan Windle was earwigging.
Exactly what Ollie said there, Sam. There's been a level of concern in the Luton technical area since Coventry have gone 2-up with Godwin and Gyökeres, and the improvements of Coventry. Edwards and his staff struggling to get messages heard, to get messages across to their defensive unit in the Canberra sitting in front of that back four. It is 1-1. I've got to say, to my right, lads, the Coventry fans have not stopped.
Yeah, they were brilliant away at the Riverside Stadium. They're waving their flags, their sky blue flags. It's a sea of sky blue away to our right-hand side, all tightly packed into this magnificent bowl of a stadium. And they went behind early in the game, and they've fought their way back into it, and it's level pegging now, one apiece, but certainly they look to be in control of it. Luton, though, have been the comeback kings. They've managed to take 13 points from losing positions, but they've also been the team that have dropped more points from winning positions than any other in the Championship this season, 27. And I think Coventry are going to think about making a change very shortly. They're just sending someone out to warm up. Is that Pankati Darbo who's coming out to warm up down in front of us? I noticed that Casey Palmer was on the bench today as well, which is good to see, because he's been out since February with a hamstring injury. I don't know how fit he is, but I think they just wanted him to be in and around the thick of the action should Coventry get themselves over the line. And also, he's a big player.
Yeah, this is a big moment in the game. That, you know, if I was a Coventry fan, I'd be very worried about Armour walking off there. You know.
Yeah, well, he's just come off towards the near side, having had treatment. I think he's going to come back on the goal scorer. He is. He doesn't look particularly comfortable, but we'll see how that develops. Luton Town lost their captain early on, Tom Lockyer, who's had to go to hospital after collapsing on the field of play. There's no more information available on his condition. And Luton have released a statement saying that he is conscious, talking to his family who are around him in the hospital at this moment in time. And as soon as there's an update on his condition, we'll bring it to you here on talksport. Ball floated forward by Luton's Amari Bell towards the far post. Bell finds Morris, who nudges it back into the right wing position. It's a cross that comes in from Drame. It's cleared brilliantly by Ben Sheaf, and then out towards the far side, and now Reece Burke's got it on the halfway line. talksport live at the Championship playoff final. Alex Cook and the boot room boys, Adam Fenwa and Darren Ambrose joining him for a reaction to this a little bit later on. And who will they be talking about? Drama in towards the edge of the penalty area, straight down the throat of Ben Wilson. He was aiming for Adebayo. It's a cross-field ball from the right-hand side, and Drame almost finding Adebayo, 6'4" tall, rose inside the box, but the goalkeeper Ben Wilson came out and played. It's still 1-1.
A little conversation with Rob and his team, and then you've seen 3 diagonals, and they look dangerous again. It's amazing. Really is amazing. Sometimes you're playing out there, you don't realise what you need to do. Your manager reminds you, and here you go. And what a game! I'm really worried about Hamer here.
He's not going to be able to continue. He rolled his
risk here, Dean, on Casey Palmer coming on.
He rolled his ankle, Palmer, in aerial challenges. He landed badly. I thought he did well to even come back on, and they're going to have to make a change, which is a big blow, to be honest, for Coventry, and that might swing things again. But Ollie's right in terms of maybe they've just realised, well, where is our spare player now? And maybe it might be Drame, maybe it might be Burke now, and the opposite diagonal, finding that spare player that can play that diagonal again and continue the way you want to play.
Well, they are going to make that change. Casey Palmer, who has experience of playoff finals before. He was promoted at Huddersfield here in 2017, widely regarded as the worst ever game of football in the history of man.
That's harsh.
It's not harsh. It's actually quite generous. But it was awful. Listen, I love the playoffs, but that game I'd like to erase from my memory. Casey Palmer coming on, and he hasn't played since February the 25th for Jamaican International, and he is going to enter the field of play at just the right time for Coventry City. Palmer off, the goal scorer. Kampati Darbo just trying to console him down in front of us, and doing a good job of doing so. Darbo's still warming up down in front of us, looking to get ready for maybe coming on to make an impact himself. Ball put out of play by Clark, and it's a Coventry City throw. We've got 10 nervous minutes to come. I think everybody now inside the stadium knows that any change in the scoreline at this stage, and all of a sudden the feeling will change dramatically. Any mistake now could be disastrous. Any moment of genius could be decisive, and the playoffs usually switch late on in the games. There's usually one more big moment of drama. Palmer gets the first touch of the ball, plays it wide to the left, and it's Gyökeres. Lovely little jink to go infield. He's blocked by Reece Burke, who's done well since coming on for the stricken Tom Lockyer. Goes up towards the middle of the halfway line, and then it's nudged behind, and it's out for a throw-in, which is given to Coventry City. Tossed back in towards Gyökeres. Palmer charges forward, didn't have the ability to get beyond the camber, but managed to find Godden. It goes out wide towards the left. Bidwell plays it infield. Palmer takes it on. He needs a bit of support. He's gone wide, and now he's threatening to take on Mpanzu, and he produces a cross which was quite decent actually into the penalty area. No one attacked it, Dean Ashton.
They were just stood watching. There was no real anticipation there. Norton Cuffy, I thought that's where everything slows down. You as the other-sided wing-back, you could come on the blind side there, try and get in right at that back post, make an arcing run towards that back stick. Instead, he just kind of stood and watched it.
It's a beautiful cross as well from Palmer, who's just come on.
Ball goes back to Jordan Clark on this near side. Norton Cuppy takes it on, plays it infield. It's on to Sheep, and then on to Gyökeres. Gyökeres trying to keep hold of it, plays it to Sheep down the right channel inside the area. Skips back, he's got away from his marker. The offside flag is up. Did he go just a little bit too early there, Sheep? As the ball was played down to him by Gyökeres. He might just have done. They've released it quickly though, Luton, and they're directly travelling down the left touchline with Jordan Clark onto Adebayo, and then was there a push on the back of McFadden? The referee said no. McFadden's put it out and it's away for a corner to Luton, and the game has gone from one end to the other in a blink of an eye in Holloway.
Well, and now it's a Luton set play. What more do you want? This is fantastic. I would hate to call this, Sam. I would not be brave enough, but
we're not going to make it. We're just going to let you enjoy it.
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm neutral, because good gracious me, if I was attached to one of these teams, I'd be panicking now.
Yeah, very set piece about to be taken by Jordan Clark, right-footed, delivers it into a central area. It's flicked away. Good defensive header again, this time by Ben Sheep. It goes out on the far side, collected by Osho. Infield to Nakamba across into the centre circle. Drame clips it wide towards the left-hand side, headed into the air by McNally, and it's out for another Luton Town throw. Change for Luton Town, and they're going to take off Doughty. They're going to take off Doughty and bring on Fred Onyedinma.
Oh wow, go on Fred. Adam in Millwall, yeah, what a wonderful lad. Fantastic player.
In the team at Millwall that got to the playoff final, Wickham as well. He played with our very own Mr. Akinfenwa, who will be on the radio straight after the conclusion of this game. He's had a bit of trouble actually recently with an injury, but he's on the pitch now. Fred Onyedinma, the 26-year-old. Here is Godden for Coventry City on halfway, trying to bring the ball forward. He plays it down the right for Palmer, but it's a little bit too hefty, that. Slightly awry. He's useful, isn't he? Sometimes it lacks a little bit of quality, Matt Godden, but he's useful because he buzzes everywhere, and he's always annoying to defend against, I think.
You want your centre forward to be annoying. You know, I've had some brilliant ones in my time.
flick on towards
Jamie Curran, he would shoot from everywhere and he was annoying, but normally they'd go in.
I think the title was about 42, did he?
Yeah.
Here is
Proud of him.
Here is Onyedinma down the left-hand side, gets into a crossing position, a low ball which is steered away just about with a deflection by Norton Cuffy into the path of Kelly, and Coventry are able to clear it up towards the halfway line, and Sheaf tries to play it forward, but Clark is back chasing it down, and you get the feeling that after a gruelling 46-game championship season, 2 legs of a semi-final, and an arduous 85 minutes that we've had so far of this playoff final, Dean Ashton, we may well be heading to extra time.
Possibly so hard to split these two sides, but tactics are starting to disappear. It's starting to be a bit of a slog. You can feel the tension in both of the sides, and you just really don't know now. It's about, if you do create that one chance, can you be clinical with it?
Don't know now. I didn't know at the start of the game. I didn't know at half time, and I certainly don't know now. Dino, come on.
85,711 here today. It's a little short of the record set in 2014 by QPR and Derby, but it's a healthy attendance for a second-tier playoff final. Well, it means so much. It's not just the money, and I know everyone talks about the 170 million quid and all that kind of stuff, but ultimately it's about the prestige, it's about the prize, it's about getting to the big time, playing against Manchester United and Newcastle and Arsenal and Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. It's about taking on those teams that you haven't played for such a long time, not with regularity anyway. Here's Godden running in behind and occupying Bell. He goes into the penalty area, plays it left, and Palmer takes over now, tries to jink his way into a crossing position and forces a challenge. It does go straight out of play, and it's going to be a goal kick rather than the corner that he was hoping for. And it's back with Horvath away to our right-hand side. It remains 1-1. You're listening to talksport in the EFL Championship playoff final live on talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18+. Please drink responsibly. You played in big games, big tense finals. Dean, what goes through the mind of a striker in these moments? Give me one chance, just give me one more.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you want it to be you, generally, the selfish players that we are. But at this point, with what you've gone through, you as a side, you just want, it doesn't matter how it happens. You just, now is when I think the fear kicks in, the fear of what might not happen. And you've somehow got to put that to the back of your mind.
You've got to stick to the task. Do what is needed.
Cross came in from Ame, and it wasn't great, and it's broken down, and it's brought forward quickly by Palmer into the chest of Gyökeres. Lovely layoff onto Godden, left-hand side. We're in the 87th minute of the game. Gyökeres trying to turn, looking to try and get it onto his right foot. He's kept hold of it well. He's done a brilliant turn into the box. Deflected effort comes into the air, and it's caught by the goalkeeper and cleared away. And there's nervous faces amongst the Luton support everywhere. They're biting their fingernails now because they know that one mistake, one stroke of genius, and all of the season's hard work goes up in smoke. There's movement down on the Coventry bench. Dan Windle.
And Catty Darboe set soon to be introduced, Sam, into the game with minutes of the 90 to go. This is what me and Holloway call squeaky bum time.
Yeah, that's not the only one.
What a turn by Gyökeres then, and great block again. Some of the defending today has been commendable, absolutely commendable. It's a dying art.
Up towards Adebayo, who's just straight offside as the ball's played up to him. Yeah, you can just feel the tension inside this stadium now. All of a sudden there is a sense of apprehension, of agitation, of jumpiness about the supporters from both these two teams. Could someone find some poise? Maybe Jordan Clark, who's picked the ball up for Luton inside Coventry territory. He's turned away from one challenge, he's got away from Sheaf. He's sent it back to Pelirona Kimpanzu. Out to the far side, Drama with a chance to cross. It's in towards Adebayo. Might come through to Onyedinma, but it's smuggled behind by Norton Cuffy, and it's going to be a Luton set piece in the final 2 minutes of the game. Dean Ashton.
Oh, he's got to get inside the fullback. Has to there, Onyedinma. Again, we saw it at the other end.
He's only just come on.
Yeah, but he's got to. He's got to recognise that and just gamble that it's going to fall to you and miss out your two centre forwards. In the end, Norton Cuffy gets lucky because he didn't know he was there.
I think some of the defending today's been outstanding, absolutely. The aerial duels that we've seen it's not usual, it's not normal, but wow, I love it.
Morris, Burke, and Panzu. Adebayo Osho, all waiting for the delivery from Clark, and it misses. Every single one of them goes over their heads and out towards the far side. Adebayo scurries for it. There's a tackle coming in, and that tackle from Bidwell puts it straight out for a throw-in to Luton Town, who have it still inside Coventry territory in the 89th, now 90th minute of the game. How many minutes of added time at the end of this section of the game? We're going to go to extra time here on talksport. The ball is over on the far side, the right. It's crossed off the back of a defender and into the air. Mpanzu picks it up. It goes wide for Luton. They're trying to get it into the area, but Sheep is up there to shut the door, and diligent defending again stops the cross from coming into the box. There's going to be an added time of, what is that, 6 minutes, did he say? 6 minutes of added time?
Where did they get that from?
It's 8 minutes, I think. 8 minutes of added time. The fourth official couldn't get the ball working, Graham Scott. So it is 8 minutes, I can tell you that. But the poor old fourth official has had nothing to do all day. Couldn't get the board working.
Wow. And where did he get the 8 minutes from?
Well, there was 8 minutes in the first half, but there was a significant delay to Tom Lockyer. We've had the injury to Harmer.
Yeah, but that wasn't 8 minutes, Sam. Even with my timing brain, that was a lot shorter than that. Come on.
But
is it 30 seconds for a substitution as well, is it?
Do you want it to end?
No, I'd rather have extra time.
Would you? Okay. All right, well, you might get that. You might get your wish. Or maybe you won't, because standing over the ball, a free kick for Luton Town. This is 8 yards back from the edge of the penalty area. Jordan Clark, who scored the first goal of the match, has placed it down. There's a four-man wall. Adebayo's just trotted into the penalty area. He shoots right footed. It's well over the bar, and it's out for a goal kick. And it's a bit of a waste, really, Dean Ashton.
I mean, those are the moments. It's kind of what you dream of as a player. That moment, ticking down the clock, free kick outside the area. Can you execute as you practice time and time again on the training field? Wasn't able to.
I watched one of my players do that over and over again. Charlie Adam, top corner. That's what you want. But Clark has been in defence. He's been excellent.
Yes,
in fairness to him, he's been superb.
And the fans of both sets of supporters have been too. Here's Godden from range on the volley. And there's 30 yards out. It was knocked down by Gyökeres after being kicked up from the goalkeeper. It landed just in front of Godden, and he smacked it goalwards, but he didn't get it right, his contact right at all. And it looped way over the top of the crossbar away to our right-hand side, and Luton will get to clear. 92 minutes of the 98 that are going to be played here have been played, and it remains 1-1 on talksport. Extra time to come in the next few minutes here. Stick with us, we'll bring it to you, and then the boot room will go through it all and take your calls as well as the interviews with some of the main protagonists. Drame plays it wide onto the left, Onyedinma Dimma with a chance to cross. Oh, it's a decent looking effort as well, maybe just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. He's got the ability to swing balls in from that sort of range. Quickly goes up towards the left-hand side. You can't stop for a minute here. Gyökeres on the attack. I mean, it is a breathless end to the game. And do you know what? Credit to them for showing the levels of fitness that they have after such a gruelling season.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're both just whacking it now, to be honest. Every time the centre-backs get it, they just whack it forwards, and it's like, go on, who's going to be the better two centre-forwards to get us something on the break? Because the football's gone.
Is this
what tiny percentage of football there was has definitely gone.
Is there a sort of myth about the size of the Wembley pitch that it is more draining than everywhere else? It isn't the biggest pitch in the Premier League or the Championship. It is a big pitch, but it's not the biggest. It's the same size as
when
the
you add the drama, when you add the emotional aspects to this, to what's hanging on it, what's riding on it, then it drains you. Even as a manager, it drains you.
It is slightly bigger, well, in fact significantly bigger than the tight confines of Kenilworth Road, where they can squeeze just 10,365 in.
Sam, even after the final whistle, when I wasn't totally convinced that we'd done it, do you know what I mean? It was like a brain freeze. Oh my God, yeah, we're there, you know? I still could see them equalising.
Even after the full-time whistle?
Even after the full-time whistle, that's how mad it makes you.
And they didn't have VAR in your day.
That's right, mate.
Well, this pitch 5 yards longer and 2 yards wider than the pitch at Kenilworth Road. It's a lot wider than the CBS Arena pitch. The ball is out though, over on the far side by the corner flag. We played 4 of the 8 minutes added on, and we're into injury time at the end of the 90 minutes. Is there going to be a winner? Can Coventry conjure one up? Can Luton repel them and maybe attack at the other end themselves? Sheaf's got it far side, onto Palmer, turns and shoots, and it's a wild effort. And that's been sort of like the pattern of play, really, Dean, isn't it? You know, when you've got into a shooting position, everybody's just taken the first shot that's become available, and they've been inaccurate.
It's difficult not to want it to be you that does it, and when that chance comes around, you tend to snatch it. And you're right, there probably was a better pass, a better option there, just to link and play that extra bit of attacking play. But it's just so hard, like I said, because you want it to be you.
And the minds are starting to drift to extra time. And nails have been bitten to the quick. There is a lot of apprehension inside the stadium as we approach the final few knockings of this game. Gyökeres has been sent down the left by Godden, looking to try and fight with Osho for the ball. Osho's put it out far side. Maybe one last chance for Coventry City.
He's incredible. He's still full of running now.
Gyökeres,
Yeah, what a player.
24 years of age, much coveted super Swede, been linked with Premier League moves. He might be going there anyway with Coventry City. He's got the ball on the angle of the penalty areas. They attack the goal once again. Palmer into the box, away by Onyia Dinmar, drops for Sheaf, edge of the D, right footed shot into the body of Rhys Berg. The ball's bounced kindly for Luton, and now they run up to halfway. Norton Cuffy trying to get back, but Roddick Mpanzu has managed to work it wide. Wills, it's out to Morris, who skipped past the challenge of McAnally down into the left wing position. He produced a cross, which takes the deflection, comes back to Ben Sheaf, and he now tries to charge forward, but Onyia Dinmar gets beyond him and then wins a set piece. But instead of thrusting it into the box and waiting, he plays it quick down the left to Adebayo. Luton on the attack into the area now. Adebayo needs some help. Marvellous Nakamba joins. Now it's on to Roddick Mpanzu. He's got space out wide for Drame, but instead comes infield and plays it left. Adebayo now. Elijah Adebayo has been such a handful and created the first goal for Jordan Clark. Steps it back into Roddick Mpanzu, who gets it back again, a right-footed shot, and it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, who just leans to his right, picks the ball up. There wasn't much venom in that effort, and it's cleared away, and we are now 1 minute and 10 seconds away from extra time.
I think the weather is kicking in now. They look exhausted, don't they? It's a bit like a charity match. Now it looks like a celebrity charity match.
It's not that bad.
That's harsh, Sam.
Ball has been played out towards the far side, and it's up to Carlton Morris. And Morris has got away from the defender. A lovely little trick, and now he tries to take on McAnally, but it was one attempt too many, and he overran the ball, and he got a little bit excited, and it goes back into the arms of the goalkeeper.
Did the first bit right, again just got a little bit greedy with the way he wanted to play. I mean, the game's wide open, absolutely wide open.
It's a slugfest now. It's who connects with the punch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ball out on the left-hand side. Both players suffering from tired limbs. The ball's on the left. It's delivered by Bell into the box. It goes over the head of everyone. It'll run out on the far side for a Coventry City throw. We played 97 minutes and 40 seconds. And I'm sure that the referee is thinking about blowing for extra time. And that will mean that those aching limbs, those legs that have been sapped through not only physical exertion but the nervous exhilaration of the game, will have to go again for another half an hour. Michael Oliver brings it to a close, and for the first time in 6 years we have extra time in the playoff final between Coventry City and Luton Town. One apiece. A goal from Gustavo Harmer has lit up the Coventry support. He's dragged them back into the game, but then he limped off because of an injury. Jordan Clark's goal after 23 minutes seems a long time ago now, and there's still a long time to go. Coventry 1, Luton 1, extra time incoming. Don't go anywhere. Coventry dominated possession, 54%. Luton 46. 10 shots on goal, 12 for Luton, 2 on target for Coventry, including the goal they scored, 4 on target for Luton Town. And you can see that both these two teams were energy sapped before the end of the game. The excitement was absolutely gripping. It was played like a little bit of a basketball match. There was a phenomenal intensity to the game, and maybe it's going to be a moment of magic that sends either Coventry or Luton to the playoffs, through the playoffs into the Premier League.
Sam, I truly hope it is, because I don't want it to go to penalties. What if you're the one who misses?
I do.
Do you know what I mean?
I love penalties.
Do you?
Yeah. Get straight to him. Someone run down there and tell him.
I must admit, I am of the opinion that extra time is one of those things that you just don't require anymore. But anyway, that's a debate for a different day. The EFL Cup has certainly benefited for having a system where it goes straight to penalties in most of their ties. Here comes Drame down the right hand side. Peli Radakin-Panzu tries to head it on and sends it into the right channel. Luton now in those orange shirts, navy blue shorts, attacking the goal away to our right where the Coventry City supporters are. I mean, the Coventry City supporters were struggling to get home on the train afterwards anyway. Now they're going to be even later tonight because of the issue with the Chiltern trains. Let's go down to the touchline. There's been another change. Dan Windle.
And Catty Darbo on as we expected, Sam, taking the place of Brooke Norton-Cuffy, like for like, over on that right hand side.
Here come the Coventry City. Gyökeres, edge of the area, right footed shot spilt by the goalkeeper Horvath, but then recovered at the second attempt. And there was a good powerful run from Gyökeres down the right hand side. He must have been about 20 yards from goal on the angle, and he shot from the apex of the penalty area straight at the American goalkeeper, who made a good save in Holloway.
What a fantastic player this Gyökeres is.
Gyökeres is a good player, but Gyökeres is...
Gyökeres, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's so difficult to pronounce that I was hoping he wasn't playing, but...
that was like a forehand volley.
Yeah, I got to say, he's almost as good as him, isn't he? He's like a machine. I am so impressed with him.
I think he wanted extra time, just to test everyone.
Oh, good gracious me. What an engine the fella's got, and what skill. He's hardly give it away.
Here's Adebayo trying to charge through the centre, and he's just blocked off before he can do that by Callum Doyle. Takes the ball away and manages to... it's Carl McFadden, and takes the ball away and manages to clear. Doyle gets back into position because Adebayo is trying to take him on down the right. They want a free kick that's not forthcoming, Luton Town, and it goes out for a throw on this near touchline.
I do believe the referee's had an excellent game today.
He's done very well, and he's got a busy week because he is off to do fourth official duties, I think, in the Europa League final with Anthony Taylor, who's going out there. As Casey Palmer goes charging forward, is brought down, and a free kick is given to Coventry City just in front of the centre circle. They want to get it moving quickly. Jordan Clark stands in his way. They can't do so, so they'll reset the free kick and they'll clear it away.
He's a different type of player, isn't he, Palmer, compared to Harmer, and it's just that little acceleration, isn't it? They can really burst away from midfield players, and especially with the fresh leg that he's got up against this Luton defence, he could end up being the key player in this extra time.
What a comeback game to come up in. He hasn't played for months.
Free kick delivered into the box towards the far post, and good defending by Luton, just stopping anybody attacking at the back post. McAnally was trying to come round and do just that, but he couldn't get on the end of it, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our left hand side. Good defending by Luton Town, who have been pretty good over the course of the season, squeezing teams out of matches. They lost Nathan Jones in the World Cup break to Southampton, but Rob Edwards, who was at Watford for the first 11 games of the season, then turned up at Kenilworth Road. I think at the time everybody thought, how's that going to work, bearing in mind Watford and Luton absolutely detest one another, but they've taken him in as their own. There was a big banner when he first turned up welcoming him to the club, and what a foolish move it looks from Watford now, not keeping hold of him, and having another season where they've had a revolving door of the manager's office.
Well, I do not think that you should do that. Good luck to him, but I think it's absolutely nonsense.
Ball loose inside the penalty area for a flick on by Morris. Out comes the goalkeeper before Clark can react, and it's cleared away by Coventry City out to the far side. Fankati Darbo started his career at Chelsea. Casey Palmer the same. Let's try and link in the middle of the park, but it's not a great ball forward, and Nakamba will return it up towards the edge of the Coventry penalty area. Adebayo, who seems to be fit despite the issues he had with his groin during that period of rest before extra time. Plays the ball into Morris. They work it well out wide towards the left. Onyedinma Dinmar gets on it now. Left apex of the penalty area. Right-footed cross. It's another good ball by him that no one really attacked.
Yeah, gracious me. What a great ball that is. That should be a tap-in. Dino, you'd have been there, mate. Even an extra time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just difficult. I think when you think that first cross is going to come in and you've made that run, and then he checks and then plays it again, especially when you're tired, to get back onside, and Colin Morris knew he was offside, so hence he just let it go and made it look like it was a poor cross when it wasn't.
That was a good cross from Onyedinma Dinmar. This is Gyökeres turning, playing the ball straight to the feet of Osho, and he's just felt something, and it's not great, and he's pulled up over on the far side. Gabe Osho, as Strame sends it forward, looking for Clark. It's headed away, but it might come to Adebayo inside the penalty area. Clark gets there, Adebayo sends it square, doesn't quite reach his intended target, Roderick Mpanzu, and it's cleared away by Coventry, and Casey Palmer's got it now. He skips away from Marvellous Nakamba, he moves through the centre circle, he tries to nudge it on towards Godden, he just about gets there. He gets up to the edge of the area, Godden, and he falls to the floor, but he made a bit too much of that dramatically. And although there looked to be a pull on him by Onyedinma Dinmar, the referee is allowed play on. And now Morris is scampering away down the left-hand side. Carlton Morris, who believes he was fouled in the left-wing position. And McNally's going to be penalised here. And it's going to be a free kick, another set piece for Luton Town over on the far side. Dean Ashton.
He's lucky as well. I think he gingerly looked at the referee.
Yeah.
McNally on a yellow card. And Colin Morris just knew he had the beating of him there. The energy levels were higher. He just said, come on, let's have a race down the wing, and I've got you. And then just a lovely little Cruyff turn back inside, and McNally made the challenge. Probably wasn't another yellow, I would expect, actually.
You have to call that a Morris turn now, not Cruyff.
We'll get down to the benches in just a second, because there's going to be a change for Luton Town. But here's the free kick over on the far side. Clark's going to take it. He's got Adebayo to aim at, and Roderick Mpanzu on the edge of the box. It's aimed in towards the near post. Osho went up. Seems to have recovered from his ailment that he picked up just a few moments ago. Here is Roderick Mpanzu sending it back to halfway. Bell will steer it to the goalkeeper, and it'll be cleared by Horvath. On the touchline, Dan Windle for us.
One of the longest serving left at Luton. Luke Berry shortly will be coming on for Luton into their midfield, Sam.
Yeah, what a great record he's got as well. In Wembley occasions, he scored in the FA Trophy final win here for Cambridge. He was promoted here with Cambridge. He actually once, would you believe, scored 4 goals in one game in 2016 against Coventry City. Can he come off the bench and take Luton Town to the Premier League? Well, here's the change. Roderick Mpanzu coming off, Luke Berry coming on. He is a favourite of the Luton fans, a long-serving player. Can it be him? One long server to another. 364th appearance for Luton today for Roderick Mpanzu. He's been there on the whole journey. Ball out on this near side, and it's going to be a Coventry City free kick. Then Sheaf will take it. 8 minutes gone in extra time. 2 halves of 15 minutes before penalty kicks will separate these two teams eventually one way or another. It's been a nail-biting game, a game full of physicality and direct football, and it's been draining for all those players that are out there. Clark drags them up the pitch with a bit of dribbling out to the left-hand side, might go loose inside the area. Clark goes down under a challenge from Wilson, and he says that he's died, and he's given the free kick the other way, Michael Oliver. Wilson came charging out, Clark went down, and he's got a yellow card for his trouble. Michael Oliver was on the spot. What did you make of it, Dean Ashton?
I thought he had a great position, the referee, Michael Oliver. A brilliant position. He was right behind it. You could see him just straining his neck to make sure he saw that, and it was so clear. It was a terrible, terrible effort at a dive, I have to say. And rightly so, he gets a yellow card.
As a manager, what do you make of that?
I'll be having a go at him, you know. Let me see. I can't see it first.
It might have been a little touch there.
He did catch him. I've seen
tiniest of little touches, or was it a dive?
it was.
I'll give him the
dive.
benefit of the doubt. Dino's saying he's a dive.
Yeah. Normally, when your feet disappear from under you, you do it by yourself.
Speaking from experience, VAR had a good look at it. It certainly wasn't a clear and obvious error, was it? It was actually good refereeing by Michael.
Well done, Michael Oliver. He didn't have to wait for VAR for a half hour.
Ball clipped forward up towards Berry, who takes it on the chest and looks to get the better of Darbo. Did enough to steer it into a Coventry blue jersey. 10 minutes played, all given away. Burke has nabbed it, and then there's a collision in midfield. The ball's been spilt, but somehow Coventry managed to get it away. Kelly gets it over the halfway line, but it's picked up again on this near side by Sheaf, who's been everywhere. He's probably had the most touches in a Coventry jersey. Palmer couldn't hold on to it. Drame takes over for Luton. It's end-to-end stuff. You're listening to Coventry 1, Luton 1 in the EFL Championship final, live on talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. There's a whole stadium divided down the middle. Orange to my left, sky blue to my right. The atmosphere has just been quelled as the nerves take over. And there is a problem here for the goalkeeper Horvath, who's gone down away to our left-hand side.
You know, this looks like an English match of old. You know, our divisions used to be physical, and and instead of this sort of non-contact rubbish we see these days with people diving for stuff. I've thoroughly enjoyed the contact that we've seen.
It's a throwback game, isn't it, Dean?
It is, but it used to be, very useful in the way that teams used to play.
Do you think that either of these two teams going in the Premier League will play exactly the same way next year?
I think they probably will. I think they'd struggle if they did, because what I've seen is that early on there was a bit more substance to the way they played. As they've got more and more tired, it's just become Luton are basically just diagonal everything, and then even Coventry, it's get it up to Gyökeres, hope he wins something. There's still that lack of having 2 or 3 options. That's the problem.
Well, this isn't a great scene for Coventry City. Dan Windle on the touchline.
Firstly, Sam, very interesting. Josh Eccles on, the academy product for Coventry, replacing Casey Palmer, who was subbed on, of course, during the game. Palmer off. Eccles replaces him into that Coventry midfield. Horvath feeling his hamstring. They've made 3 changes. Luton, Horvath up and moving, but you wouldn't say, Sam, moving brilliantly, the Luton keeper.
Yeah, they've still got the opportunity to make another substitution, but he doesn't look particularly great away to our left-hand side. And
so is that an injury to Palmer?
It must be, mustn't it? Because otherwise you wouldn't bring him on and then take him off.
No, I think they brought him on to try and win it in that little moment.
He has been giving the ball away, but that would be incredibly. I'd think it would be a strange to take one of your Frankshire players off.
They're suggesting on the touchline that he didn't look injured, but it has been a long time since he played, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he hasn't reacted well to getting back out there again. It was a bit of a gamble. They call it a light bulb when you're brought on and brought off again in the same game. He has been light bulbed. Maybe it's because of injury, but he was getting some consoling words from Adi Vivash. We'll get the word from the touchline as soon as Dan's investigated. The ball is cleared upfield towards Gyökeres. Gyökeres trying to turn. He does well to spin and try and play it down the left-hand side. It's collected by Kelly and sprinting out to the far side. Fankati Darbo can't quite get onto the end of it, and it's cleared away and out for a thrown over on the far side. So they have made another change, and that change is Josh Eccles coming onto the field of play. His last goal against Birmingham, he came through the ranks. His first experience of Wembley Stadium with Josh Eccles wearing 28 and playing in that number 10 position now. Bell throws the ball in. There's a collision which ends up with a high boot from Morris into the body of the Coventry City player. As a result of that, it's a free kick to Coventry, and we've played 13 and a half minutes of this first half of extra time on talksport.
You can even tell the support has just dipped, hasn't it? Everyone can feel for the players almost what a slog this starts to become, and mistakes and poor passes.
Morris has won it back far side after a wasted free kick. Sheep has given it away. Morris has sent it forward. Adebayo is trying to chase with McFadzean. He manages to nudge the ball clear just about, but they look like 2 old war horses there, Adebayo and McFadzean. Adebayo was obviously still struggling with his issues that he was having dealt with at half-time. Here's the ball played towards the edge of the penalty area, and Eccles is trying to get on the end of a decent ball from Gyökeres over on the far side. They couldn't quite connect the play, and it's cleared on the edge of the Luton box up through the middle of the pitch. But here come Coventry again. And we've played our 15 minutes nearly of the first period of extra time, and the second period to come, plus a possible penalty shootout. The way it looks at this moment in time is that we are sort of limping towards penalty kicks here in Holloway.
Yeah, what amazes me is how the tennis players play for 5 hours at the level that they play at. Do you know what I mean? The boys have given us everything today. You can't say they haven't turned up. They've all done everything. But my goodness me!
Well, post-match we might ask Djokovic. Oh, sorry. No,
Djokovic. I mean, it looks that way to me. That's how you spell it in Bristol.
2 minutes of added time.
Come on, Sam. If you talk Bristol, then you'd have said Djokovic.
Where did the 2 minutes come from in this particular half?
I have no idea with these timekeeping people.
Ball played down the right side by Coventry City. We're into those 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first period of extra time, with another gruelling period to come. And the agitation is clear, but Kelly's got the ball and he's trying to get to the edge of the penalty area. I think that was an attempted shot, but he was caught in two minds. Didn't know whether to slide it into Bidwell or have a go. In the end, he did neither, and he sort of almost passed the ball out of play, Dean Ashton.
That was pathetic. Honestly, what? When he's got Godden on his left hand,
don't hold back, mate.
But he's got Godden on his left-hand side. Just play it. I don't understand
I am not
it.
being so critical. You know,
That was useless.
A few hours in the gym, and I know how hard it is. So come on. Everything's riding on everything you do. So I think they've had a right go, and I'm not going to criticise.
That's where the coolness of head comes from, though, isn't it? Eccles has it. Moving it out towards the left-hand side. Can they show some poise in the final few minutes of this first half of extra time, or will the winner come late into stoppage time here at Wembley? It's been such a difficult season for Coventry City. They have overcome being away from home for 2 years. They've had to deal with delays to their season, pitch issues. Remember when they couldn't play because of the rugby at the Commonwealth Games? They lost Casey Palmer, an important player to them. They lost Callum O'Hare to injury as well. Can they come on strong late in this game here? Disruption at Luton Town has caused them issues too over the course of the season, but there will be 15 minutes for one of these two teams to try and take it, because it all ends here. And will it end in triumph, in open play, or will we be going to penalties? It's still 1-1. The second half of extra time is just about to come. It's really tight, and there is another change. Dan Windle.
Groin of Elijah Adebayo pretty tight as well, Sam. He's brought off Joe Taylor on in his place up front for Luton. 15 minutes plus penalties to go in this Championship playoff final.
Yet to score, Joe Taylor, after his move from Posh in January. They spotted him, Posh playing for Kings Lynn. He's now a Wales under-21 international. In his own words, he said the other week, "I like to get on the ball and face them up." Will he be going to the Premier League with Luton Town? We're underway at the start of the second period of extra time. And you're listening to talksport. They did show on the monitors in front of us at half-time that there was contact between the goalkeeper and Jordan Clark. However slight it was, there was definitely contact because it moved his foot in a different direction. Do you think that if it doesn't go their way, they'll be complaining about that in Holloway?
I don't know, because Dino, who has
been a diver,
done it before, said he's done it before, called it, you know. Honestly, you did, Dino.
Yeah, I don't want penalties to be given for that, because there is a touch, but then he can put his foot down on the floor and he just decides not to, and then takes his own legs from underneath him to make it look like the actual contact has brought him down, and there is a big difference for me.
Gyökeres trying to roll the defender, gets into the penalty area, manages to scoot the ball through the 6-yard box, and it's snuggled behind by Onyia Dinmar, and it's out for a corner kick to Luton Town. Now the Coventry end of the pitch, that's where they're attacking in this second half. And this is a big opportunity for Coventry City to try and get the ball in the box.
And Jake Bidwell's got to run right over from the left to take it. Look at him, how slow is he? Come on, Jake.
It's been a long night. 16 minutes of extra time have been played, and Coventry have the first corner. The Coventry fans willing their team, trying to suck the ball into the net away to our right, and that's sky blue, a flick on at the near post, and it comes towards the penalty spot, flicked into the air with a scorpion kick by Kelly. It goes into the air and is met by the goalkeeper Horvath and cleared away.
Why is he near the box? Kelly again.
He should be back.
You just leave him miles away.
That was such a waste.
It was a good opportunity just to keep that alive in the box.
He's not a regular goal scorer, and he hasn't scored for 3 years. And I think we've seen a couple of examples as to why that is the case today. But he has been on the journey with Coventry from the 4th tier. He played in the playoff final here in 2018 in League 2.
I think he's been outstanding at the base of that midfield, but pick your moments to not go forward.
Like most of them.
Yes, all of them.
He'll go and score now. Luton had 10 shots in the first half, 2 in the second. Coventry had 1 shot in the first half, 9 in the second. Just to show you how it very much has been a game of 2 halves between these two, but it is right now as tight as Superman's underpants.
And that's pretty tight.
It's not heard. 2.5 minutes into the second period of extra time. Rob Edwards looking pensive down in front of us, all in black. The ball thrown down the right touchline, and then it goes out of play. And it's going to be another opportunity for Fankati Darbo to take. Is he going to take the throw-in again? No, it's gone Luton's way. No, it's going to go back to Darbo. Only Dinmar thought it was a foul throw, and that's why. But I think it hadn't come back in, had it? It just went down the touchline from Darbo, so he gets the opportunity to take it again. He throws the ball long down the touchline.
They've cancelled each other out, haven't they, the 2 sets of wing-backs? Normally we'd see Bidwell and Norton Cuffy when he started, Drummond. You'd see both sets of wing-backs getting forward, being involved. They've really cancelled each. It's just been all in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, I think the biggest change was to go 2 up front in the second half for Coventry, and they needed to, you know.
Well, those Coventry and Luton wing-backs have provided so many opportunities over the course of the season. But there's been significant changes to the teams now. Drame is still on. Darbo's playing at right wing-back for Coventry after having to replace Norton Cuffy. Bidwell's still on the other side. Only Dinmar's on this left-hand side now for Luton Town, and they've got some defending to do. And Eccles tries to nudge it through to Godden, didn't quite come off for him, and it's cleared away by Luton. Berry forward to the far side. Luton now looking for a way to attack. It's with Carlton Morris, who's travelling down the right side, looking to brush aside the defender, who collides with him and go to ground. And then there's another swivel and a hit, and Boyle is dragged back. Morris was the guilty party according to Michael Oliver, who was being a little bit too physical. I think it was with Ben Sheaf, although it looked to me as if Ben Sheaf actually wrapped his body around Carlton Morris. But it's going to be another delay and another free kick. 10 minutes to go.
At the moment it's painful watching. Everybody's absolutely out on their legs, aren't they? And you know, I'm sure both sides will take penalties at the moment.
03717 223344 is the number to call if you want to speak to the boys on the boot room. We'll also have Eddie Howe on that show tonight. We'll get reaction with Dan Windle straight after the game as well. Remember, tomorrow the League 2 playoff final and the final day of the Premier League. What a day that is going to be. Can Leicester City jump over Everton and stay in the Premier League? Are Everton going to be relegated for the first time since 1951? They've been a Premier League or a top flight team since 1954. And can Leeds United pull off the miracle of all miracles and jump over both of them? It's going to be some day tomorrow. And it'll be live with us right here, all the drama. Adrian will be at Goodison Park, I'll be at King Power Stadium in Leicester. And we'll have commentary on talksport 2 with Danter and Groves. Leeds United against Tottenham. All the big moments will be with you. Get the app, download it, click between the 2 stations, or stick with us on talksport and we'll take you everywhere and bring you commentary of that Leicester game. There's going to be another change here, so let's get the latest details from talksport's Dan Windle.
Osho coming off, really struggling during that interval in the extra time. Sam, again another player getting work on those quads, replaced by Dan Potts, Luton's final change.
Yeah, another one who's been around the block, Dan Potts. He's been at Luton for a long time, a former West Ham United trainee. He's been playing centre-back in a three whenever called upon. He's a useful addition to this team at this time of the game, a wiser head. He's 29 years of age, but he knows how to manage these situations. And if you're Luton, your mind has already drifted to penalties. They've had a bit of a problem with penalties over the course of the season. Would you start to worry about that now? Would it be coming to your mind, actually, do you know what, our penalty record isn't great, shall we try and sort of think about winning it?
I think you'll be trying to win it anyway. Sam, I don't think any manager ever goes, I'm going to get to penalties. Don't work that way.
Marvellous Nakamba scrapping for the ball. He's fouled by Josh Eccles, who's a little bit too eager. If you're a player who's confident of taking one, you want penalties, do you?
Yes. Yeah, you don't mind. It's those players that really don't want it that'll be really worried and know that it's on its way. I think as a manager, I'm sure you just want players to put their hands up straight away and say they want to take it, and then it's down to your goalkeepers as well. I mean, Horvath has faced 5 penalties and not saved one of them this season. Ben Wilson's only faced one and not saved it, but it is then all about your mindset. Can you handle an occasion from 12 yards? It's the ultimate test, really.
Yeah, but which way are they going to be taking them? How unfair is that? If you
Toss of a coin, I'm afraid.
Is that what it is? Yeah. How can you get promoted on a toss of a coin on a penalty?
Well,
Don't seem fair to me, but there you go. What do I know?
Luton have taken 3 penalties in the league this season. They've only scored 1. Coventry have taken 7 and scored 6. There's another delay because of an injury to Callum Doyle this time. And then we're getting to the stage where if they get through the extra time period, then you might have to take a penalty because it is just full of walking wounded. There's nerves on the bench. Dan Windle.
There certainly is. Jonathan Panzo set to be introduced for, it looks like, Callum Doyle. Dean Ashton, grab your boots. There's no one left down here.
Get the old specialities out.
It's the 5th substitute for Coventry City. And Mark Robbins just gives Jonathan Panzo a high five. Not always first choice, but a good servant. It started at Chelsea, been at Monaco. He's on loan from Nottingham Forest at this moment in time. Jonathan Panzo. He's about to come on for the final few moments of this game. And if you are going to come on and have to take a penalty, you need a few touches first of all, don't you, Ian?
You do, yeah. And I hate to say it, a lot of substitutes miss in penalty shootouts. It's a fact.
Well, we've seen that here. We're England in the European Championships now.
Oh, come on. Don't talk to me about England and penalties. Come on. Sam, let's keep it nice.
Keep it positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. 5 minutes to go. You're listening to talksport. Is there going to be a winner in extra time? The ball sent through the middle. And they've done a lot of work on penalties over the last few years, and they've got much better at them.
Is that right?
They've won a shootout. Here is McFadden.
Some of the worst moments in my life have been down to England penalty take.
Here is Kelly over halfway. He's got space out wide towards the right hand side, and Fankati Darbo. Darbo tries to take on Onyedinma. Onyedinma wins it and charges forward, and a chance for a break now. He's going at rapid speed. He gets taken down, does he, by Sheaf. Sheaf says he got the ball, and the referee concurs. They turn it over once again, Coventry. Darbo shoots it forward. Gyökeres takes it in. He's got support. Sheaf arriving, tries to get round the back of Bell. Bell gets the challenge in. The referee says play on. It was a good challenge according to Michael Oliver, and we move again forward down the left side. The ball a little bit loose from Clark, who's got a bit of cramp, and it goes out of play and away for a throw-in. 2 crunching challenges, Dean Ashton, right at the end of this draining game.
Yeah, well, look, it's easier to go throwing yourself into the challenge than it is probably trying to run at it. I mean, your legs are shot to pieces. It's not really that fun actually to watch the players when they're struggling like this.
They're so fatigued and overtired, aren't they?
Oh, and he makes a mistake.
And now it's a chance. Into the box they go. A right-footed shot from Taylor, and it's in. It's in. A mistake on the edge of the penalty area. Taylor has escaped, and Luton Town score with 4 minutes left on the clock. He's never scored a goal for Luton Town before, Joe Taylor, but he might well have just scored the goal that takes them to the Premier League. being lucky number 7 for Luton Town. Jonathan Panzo off the bench has made a huge error, and Luton Town have capitalised. Or have they? Is the referee going to rule it out because of VAR? Oh my word, what a dramatic moment. He's accused him of handball. The VAR, Chris Kavanagh, has whispered in the ear of Michael Oliver, and the goal has been chalked off.
Wow. It does hit his hand. Taylor, it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
That's not deliberate handball, and it's not the next action. So should it be allowed under the laws of the game?
Well, I mean, it's all
That
about the
looks so
wording.
harsh to me. That accidentally hit him on the hand. I mean,
Well, he goes into a challenge with Panzo, the ball flicks into the air, it touches the arm of the defender, his hand is up. The argument will be it's deliberate because his arm is up and above his head, and that constitutes a deliberate act because his arm's above his head, away from his body. It's a tough call, and what a moment. The Luton Town fans, who were full of jubilation, full of celebration, they thought they were going to the Premier League. Joe Taylor can't quite believe it. What does that do to the mood, Dean Ashton?
Well, it crushes it, doesn't it? I mean, what a relief. Jonathan Panzo, I mean, how must he be feeling? He's come on and straight away made a mistake, slipped, made the mistake. How fortunate is he?
Wow. I mean, it probably is going to be down as a technical infraction. They didn't ask him to come and have a look at the monitor, Michael Oliver, so they'll be pretty confident in their judgment.
I think your point that you made about his arm being so far away from a natural position will feel as if he's just gained such an advantage from his hand being up in the air.
if I was Luton, I'd feel totally aggrieved right now. With the contact up that end and then that one disallowed.
Well, that's two big decisions that have gone against them. Jordan Clark thought he should have had a penalty during the game, and the goal for handball has been disallowed. Joe Taylor, what a moment. Is there one more twist? Morris down the left-hand side, keeping the ball in, tries to take it beyond McNally, didn't have the ability to do it, goes out of play and away for a goal kick. Well, that was absolutely shocking all over. I mean, it was one of those moments that just rocks you. You're a Luton Town player, you're all of a sudden going from an extreme high to a low. If you're Jonathan Panzo, you've just escaped the biggest mistake of your entire life.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just rocked him to his core, and now he's got to readjust because he may well have to take a penalty in the next few seconds. 29 minutes and 30 seconds have been played. That extreme high for Luton has been snatched away from them. Coventry have been saved by a VAR decision. Absolutely fascinating. The ball goes back into the path of Reece Burke. It's clear down the right side, looking for Taylor to run. These two players absolutely debilitated, sapped, dog-tired after 120 gruelling minutes of football. But their jaded limbs have got to step up one more time and decide who goes to the Premier League on penalties. 2 more minutes will be added. There isn't going to be another twist in this extraordinary tale. Adrian started the commentary by talking about fairy tales. Is there going to be a storybook ending? Here the ball is at the feet of Onyeka Dinmar, who's crossed into the box. He's aimed towards Berry, can't get away from Bidwell, and it floats behind and away for a goal kick. Well, it's been absolutely sapping, hasn't it, just to sit here and watch it. You can't imagine what it's been like to play in it. Ian Holloway.
Well, you can, and this is the wonder of the playoffs. We're on the edge of our seat. Wow, which way is it going to go? I do not know. You couldn't separate them at the start of the game. You can't separate them now.
Rob Edwards, when that goal went in, he thought they'd done it. He went steaming down the side of the pitch. He thought it was the moment. He did full Jose Mourinho celebration, and now his heart, which was beating at 180 beats a minute just a moment ago, is trying to calm down. There's a big strong challenge and a collision over on the far side. 2 players coming together. Panzo is one of them, and luckily enough It bounced straight back up again, which was completely lucky. Berries got back to his feet immediately, but you heard the gasp of the crowd because it looked sickening at one point.
It did. I mean, Sam, look, isn't that the worst, and some might say the best of VAR, when you have that emotion, but effectively he's used his hands to gain that advantage. I guess that's what it brings to the game.
It will be debated, I'm sure, intently after the match. Here is Wilson Morris down the left-hand side, trying to send the ball into the centre. The header by Joe Taylor is over the top of the crossbar, and it goes behind and away, and that's it. It's finished. It's going to be penalty kicks that will decide the final of the Championship playoffs. The team that go into the Premier League will have to do so with nerves of steel from the penalty spot. And those penalty kicks are coming next. It's finished 1-1 over 120 nerve-jangling minutes, and more nerves will be frayed in the next few moments as well. Well, Ben Wilson had to go to the toilet during that break. This is why we had to wait a little bit longer than maybe we would have thought. The Coventry goalkeeper now taking his place away to our left-hand side. It's the first Championship playoff final to be decided by penalties since 2017, that god-awful game by Huddersfield and Reading. Even the penalties were bad that day. 3 were missed in the shootout. And another playoff final 2002 before that, Birmingham beat Norwich. Doesn't happen very often, but it is going to happen today. And Luton are going to take the first kick, and it is going to be Carlton Morris, who you would anticipate is their strongest taker, who is going to take the first penalty kick. And bearing in mind the problems that they've had all season with penalties, and they need to get off to a good start. Carlton Morris takes the ball into his arms and walks towards the penalty spot, and Ben Wilson, the Coventry City goalkeeper, is playing mind games away to our left-hand side. He is just making him wait that little bit longer. Carlton Morris, who's the top scorer, has got 10 match-winning goals this season, hasn't scored since May the 9th, but 9 in 14 before that. He's still being made to wait. The goalkeeper, who probably should be penalised here, is bouncing up and down on the line away to our left-hand side. Here's the first penalty of the shootout. It's Morris against Wilson. Morris eyeballs the goalkeeper. There's a hush around when he steps up right-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and that's the perfect start to the shootout for Luton Town, who lead by a goal to nil. Dean Ashton.
And that felt crucial in terms of the way that you've got to get off to a good start in the penalty shootout. Plus, he had a process that he went through. You could just tell every aspect of when he put the ball down to putting it in the back of the net, sending the keeper the wrong way, a process.
Matt Godden is the first up for Coventry City. Scored against Luton at the CBS Arena in February, has scored from the spot this season twice already this campaign. And he places the ball down to take on Horvath for the first Coventry City penalty. Right-footed, straight past the goalkeeper. To his left, the goalkeeper went right, and it's one apiece in the shootout.
Wow, nerves of steel, fantastic. I'm nervous. How was he not nervous? He took that so well, brilliant.
Substitute Joe Taylor, who had that goal ruled out during the last portion of extra time after the Panzo mistake, takes the ball into his chest off Horvath and has to wait for Wilson again, who's gone behind the goal, now comes out to his edge of the 6-yard box. He's doing his best to use a bit of pedology here, the Golden Glove winner.
I think the ref should stop that. That's wrong.
Yeah, his ball's been placed down inside the 18-yard box, and Taylor is going to strike it. Not scored for Luton Town yet. He steps up, right-footed, arrows it into the corner. The bottom right hand. As the goalkeeper Wilson looks at it, he could get nowhere near it. That was like a missile.
Really short run up there, wasn't it, from Taylor? Just 2 or 3 steps, but then the ferocity of the strike, nice and low, right in the corner. Brilliant penalty.
Penalty drama on talksport. The tension unbearable Gyökeres strides up to place the ball down on the spot. Nervously, the Coventry players line up on the halfway line, arms above each other's shoulders. Gyökeres, who's been so often the match winner for them. Looks like it's going to be a straight run-up from him. He has missed a penalty this season. He steps up, right-footed, smashes it into the net. I mean, that was absolutely unstoppable from Victor Gyökeres, and it's 2-2 in the shootout.
I'm so pleased for him. What a strike. Exactly what you want him to do. He's been outstanding all game.
Marvellous Nakamba, the Zimbabwean international who hasn't scored a goal in 87 appearances in English football. The last time he scored a goal was with Vitesse Arnhem in 2017. It doesn't happen very often for him. A left footer who's on loan from Aston Villa for Luton Town. Takes 5 strides back from the ball, arcs his run up. He looks at the goalkeeper Wilson and sends him the wrong way and slips the ball past him and into the net. And it's a goal for marvellous Nakamba that makes it 3-2.
That'll feel better than marvellous. That'll feel magnificent for him. The coolness. He didn't look like he was going to miss, to be honest. Calmness as he ran up, made sure of the strike, whipped it into that side part of the netting. Beautiful.
Ben Sheaf gets the ball off Ben Wilson. Ben Sheaf, a Dartford boy who scored a vital equaliser when 2-0 down at home to Watford in April. He's had his calf problems recently, but he's been pretty terrific in this match. He's had a lot of the ball in the game. He takes the latest for Coventry City. It's 3-2. This to equalise at 3 apiece. He places the ball down, steps back right-footed into the top corner. Ball back got nowhere near it. It's 3-3.
Absolutely delightful. Nerves of steel. Fantastic strike. They all look... He's quite surreal. I can't believe that they don't show any nerves. Dino, what's cooking up on me? What a brilliant strike.
I think they take them serious now. Players practice regularly, all of them. It's seen as a really big deal at football clubs in terms of that process that you have.
And it's especially important today because each kick of the football takes you closer to the Premier League. Jordan Clark, who scored the opener for Luton Town in this game, places the ball down on the spot. Wilson bouncing around on his goal line. This for 4-3, an advantage in the shootout. Luton on first. He steps up, right-footed, and slams it into the corner. A brilliant penalty, a nerveless penalty from Jordan Clark. And it's 4-3.
And it had to be, because Ben Wilson really does throw himself to his right-hand side, and he's very close to getting a finger tip to it. But it was too good from Clark, right just inside that left-hand post.
Big penalty this. Huge penalty. Because if Josh Eccles doesn't score this penalty, Luton can win it with their very next kick. The local boy came through the academy, places the ball down. The last goal was against Birmingham. He steps up, right-footed, and slots. 4-4. And there hasn't been a mistake made yet.
Absolutely flawless. Well done, son. That's a long walk when you know they've just scored. Brilliant.
Well, sometimes you need a little bit of experience, and this man has it. Luke Berry to take the 5th penalty for Luton Town. He scored in a playoff final here. Promoted with Cambridge. Scored in an FA Trophy final. He scored 4 goals in one game against Coventry once. He needs to score this penalty. Some supporters can't even look. It's Berry, and it's in. Just about. Wilson went the right way, and he got something on that, I think, just a little bit, but it went beyond him and into the net. And now Liam Kelly, the Coventry City, the captain, the leader, the man who's been on the big journey, is going to take the crucial penalty. He has to score.
Wow, Sam, I am not envying him this. That's a long walk thinking, do you know, if I miss this, we're not... Hopefully he's not thinking like I am.
Played in the 2018 League Two playoff final against Exeter, promoted to the Championship in 2020. He's been with Cov from the fourth tier. He steps up right-footed and rolls it into the opposite corner, beyond the goalkeeper who went to his left. And it's a brilliant penalty for a player who hasn't been able to find the net at all, or even the target throughout the course of the day. That was terrific.
Outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
Now it's nerve jangling. Now it is nerve jangling.
My palms are sweating overnight. I just don't get it.
Dan Potts places the ball on the spot, a substitute for Luton Town. He addresses the ball. It's 5-5 in the shootout. No one's missed yet. He steps up left-footed and drills it into the bottom corner. What a penalty that was.
Again, brilliant. It wasn't probably savable, even if the goalkeeper goes that right way, Wilson. I don't think he saves it. They've been so good, the penalties.
Think about the pressure that's on the shoulders of all these Coventry players, because they're going after the Luton players, knowing that every kick now is sudden death. Every mistake that you make now, and it could be over. Every time you walk up to that spot, the future of the club that you represent is in your hands. It's at your feet. Fankati Darbo places the ball down with a chance now to level up the shootout. He steps up right-footed and blazes it over the top of the crossbar. It's over for Coventry, and Luton Town are back in the big time for the first time in 31 years. The orange shirts run towards their supporters in the east side of the ground, and it's party time for Luton. It's a crippling blow for Fankati Darbo, who blazes his kick high into the evening sky. It's jubilation for Luton Town, who win on penalties by 6 goals to 5. One of the most thrilling rises through the English football pyramid is complete. From non-league to Premier League in just 9 years. An incredible story that will take some beating. Rob Edwards, once an arrival, is now the toast of Bedfordshire. The man that has finally taken them back to the top flight, into the Premier League for the first time. Playoff heartbreak is now a thing of the past. It's lucky number 7 for Luton in the end of season jamboree, and they'll be off to Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle and Manchester United next season. It's a crushing blow for Coventry, who have lost in the most dramatic of circumstances, but it's Luton who will be going to the Premier League, promoted after winning 6-5 on penalties in the final of the Championship playoffs.